Oh my god! Cozy, G-Mama, Sharky, hello. You're in pain. What happened? Oh no. Oh my god. Hello everybody. I'm all bundled. I'm a little bundled because it's cold today. Oh my goodness. Whoa. 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 I just did an Instagram story, but I went immediately into Eustace Winter's voice. So anybody that sees that story is just gonna get attacked with like a whoa, whoa, hey, that's me, Eustace Winter. Oh no, Sharky, I'm so sorry. I'm a burrito. A burrito. When the fake laughing turns into real laughing. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh baby, ooh 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 baby. I'm excited. I'm excited to solve crimes. I ate a banana for breakfast, which you might be like, is that enough food? We're gonna find out. We're gonna figure it out, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. Scooby-dee-doo-dee-doo. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ugh. Ouch! They're both ouched. Ouched and crouched, waiting for a couch. That's bananas. Come on. Come on. Oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I got my hoodie. I got my sweatpants. I'm ready to go. You can't have bananas? How come? Is it too much potassium? Because I'm eating them for, well, I'm eating them because they're fruit, but I'm also eating them for the potassium. Apparently potassium, like if you have a lot of sodium, the potassium kind of, it doesn't cancel it out because that's oversimplifying. Oh, interesting. Is that like a common thing for post-pregnant people to kind of have foods they don't want to eat no more? I don't know. That'd be sad. I feel like I have a very I'm very flexible in a general sense, but like I feel like right now with my food restrictions, it's not like a ton of different meals I eat. So if I decided I didn't like some of them, it'd be pretty tragic for me. As the whole body. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so interesting. Woo! Whoa! Robbie, hello! Ah! 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 Hello, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It's Thursday as fuck. You know what it is? It's Thursday as fuck, everyone. I'm trying to scooch my ding-dang chair. I've got like a groove. I got one of those plastic like carpet saver mat things for my computer chair, you know. But like, just because I typically sit in about the same spot, it's got like indentations. It got like grooves in it. So sometimes I'll try and scooch up like a little bit, but then I just fall back into the grooves I've created. Bubba Wallace, good morning. I remember liking them being tasty. And even smelling them, you're like, nah. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh my goodness. No, I definitely had one time. This isn't quite the same, but like, I definitely, like one time, a lifetime ago. This is before Cozy, but I don't know what the deal was. Like, I had a date the next day that I was like kind of nervous and excited about, and I had a bunch of like pico de gallo, you know, salsa, and chips like the evening before, And I don't know if it was a combination of just sort of the nervousness or like what. Or maybe that salsa was bad, but like, for me, inconceivable. But like, I got so sick. Like, this was like proper food poisoning. And y'all, I threw up fucking everywhere. It was awful. And so after that, I was like, I've eaten a lot of that particular, like, brand of salsa or, like, whatever it was, but no longer. I don't want that anymore. Fooled me once. Ow! What the hell? Crimson. Oh, my God. Are you ready to solve crimes, everybody? I hope so, because that's what we're doing. Look at that kaiju up there. All right. That's the Tyrannosaurus. It's a cow, Cozy. It's a big cow monster. Okay, here we go. I'm ready to commit them. Does that count? Yeah. I'll allow it. All right, so I think we just finished up kind of looking. We were like reviewing a lot of the stuff from the case 12 years ago. But I think that the idea is that... Well, I don't know. Well, I guess there's like these planters. I think the idea is that this... I don't know if we have a picture of the whole situation. But I guess like this was a pillar and there were 3 planters in front of it and 3 planters on the left side and the right side of it. And I guess we're to understand that this lot is on the one side of the big building, which is that place now. We love a cow. Yeah, Cozy love a cow. Count me in. Yeah, we're doing crimes. Another feeling eating something doesn't agree with your stomach. No! It's so awful when it happens. Okay, Cozy. Hell yeah. Okay, let's get going. All right, there's Judge Gaville. Sean. Hey, was my dad. Well, that's not his voice. But yeah, so we also found out that poor Sean Fenn, actor child extraordinaire, was the kid of the deceased, the president of Zheng Fa. He dead AF. And that's new information. It can't have been easy learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him? Sean. I get it. He was the president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But he was right there in front of me. Right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened and he wouldn't have... I've ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. Yeah, his name is Sean Fenn. Yeah. You're going to the bacon barbecue. Wait, what? Bubble, what are you saying? What do you mean we're getting that? Where? Who? Where? What are we talking about? I even ruined your flowers. Sean, please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. Everybody's sad. The bond between parent and child, as symbolized by the lion lily. Steffi, hello! Oh, McDonald's. Bacon barbecue quarter pounder. Oh my goodness. I don't really like barbecue, like, sauce flavor is like, it's not one of my favorites. I don't hate it or anything, but oh my god, this chair indentation is killing me. But like barbecue chips, I'm kind of like, I'm alright on these. But like proper barbecue, fuck me up, fam, you know. Okay, I'm no expert, but it's native to Zheng Fa, so I know that much at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. Ah, you're right. I believe we learned all we need to about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Like smoked ribs or brisket? Yeah, that fucked me up, fam. But just like barbecue sauce on like a burger or like whatever, isn't really like a flavor I enjoy too much. But so many people love it, so I get it. I understand. Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned from Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Yeah! Hell yeah, okay. The real story SS5. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Tyrannosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Finn. Except he was kidnapped, and Alldown happened to see it. If Alldown hadn't been there, then he wouldn't have been a murderer. Then there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo to throw everybody off the scent. We have leftover Beria. Oh my god, that I'm excited about. Ooh, baby. So that's our current theory, is it? Okay. I still think that it's just been an imposter president for 12 years, I gotta tell you. But there's something I still don't understand. I just have to make breakfast. There is this. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't? He's an imposter. It's a good question, and we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduce away. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just sort of press him on everything. Man, I had really good quesadilla. The first time I ever had it, and it was bussin' on God. But, like, they're so, like, something I have to sort of be aware of these days is, like, I can't have stuff that's, like, too oily, or I'll get sick. Too oily or greasy. And, as delicious as quesadilla is, it is kind of sort of covered in oils and things. So, I'm just sort of like, ooh, should I risk it? Ooh, I'm gonna get sick. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. Hold it! Nothing should be taken for granted at this stage. We need to treat even the seemingly certain with caution. Can we really be sure that the president went to the orphanage? I get it. You want evidence?
This is a nice change of pace from people asking you to show them proof, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
There's no need to actually say it out loud, Kay. Tyrannosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Finn.
Hold it!
Below, the hubs made it spicy. The version might indeed F you up a little bit. I feel like yeah. I gotta be careful with stuff that's like proper spicy, because I will perish. The plushie, it has a recording device concealed inside it, correct? It does, and it was used by Sean's mother, Amelie, to record a message asking the president to meet her at the orphanage at midnight.
Whoa! You're finishing each other's sentences now? What a team! You two will peel away the layers of truth like an onion, I'm sure of it.
You do realize there's nothing underneath all the layers of an onion, don't you, Kay? Could you try to say something a little less unfortunate sounding?
You two will peel away the layers of truth like the skin of a wolf, I'm sure of it.
He said less unfortunate sounding. Ahem, shall I continue? Except he was kidnapped and Alldown happened to see it.
Hold it!
Could we go over the details once again? So Mr. Alldown saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage.
And he was standing next to the snowman.
The murderer crept up behind him, grappled a brick, and...
Wow! Eek!
Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of events.
Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know we have to go over all this again, but can we do it less dramatically?
No, it's an Ace Attorney game. Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking. I don't think I had a particularly high spice tolerance until I was eating with my friend the other day, and they said the thing was almost too spicy for them to eat, and to me it just wasn't spicy at all. Man, that's always so interesting. I used to have such a low spice tolerance. I wouldn't eat anything spicy. But then I feel like somebody introduced me to Wingstop and just like the spice level of buffalo sauce. And buffalo sauce is so yummy that like I dealt with the spice, you know. And then I got a lot better at dealing with spicy food. But even that, like buffalo sauce in the grand scheme of things isn't really that hot. Oh my gosh, banana burps, excuse me. But but it was spicy for me at the time. Wingstop. I feel like I have sort of grown out of liking the wings at Wingstop so much. They're just like, they're kind of, I don't know. I feel like the last time we got it, maybe they were just sort of gamey or sort of like, they were kind of like, they just weren't it. I don't know. Even though we got so much Wingstop during the global pepperoni, it was our treat food for a year and a half. If Aldown hadn't been there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping.
Hold it!
If Mr. Aldown hadn't been there, huh? That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain? There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he was murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled. But could it?
He makes it sound as if it was Mr. Aldown's fault he was murdered.
That's not what Agent Lag is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldown was the only person who died at the orphanage that night.
Well, of course he was! They kidnapped the president.
Well, this is the point of contention, I think.
They kidnapped the president and everything!
One time they gave me lemon pepper wings by mistake. They were really good, now I get them sometimes. Lemon pepper is Cozy's favorite. I also really, really like the lemon pepper. I think it's hard to beat just classic buffalo, but like, they're kind of neck and neck for me. They are dripping with butter, so it's kind of, that's also a little rough. A friend of mine had no spice tolerance. She'll get the lowest level of curry when we go out to eat. She had no heat, and that is too spicy. Oh my god. That's crazy. Oh my goodness.
You gotta build a tolerance up. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right?
She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? I think it might be worth taking another look over all the evidence. Finished discussing things? Alright. So, I think, okay, if Aldown hadn't been there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. But, well, okay, so I think,
Objection!
There we go, okay. Because this was like a second set of blood that was there. You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldown hadn't witnessed the kidnapping, but is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, they wouldn't have needed to murder anybody. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldown wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldown was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else? Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe, I'll be the first to admit it, but it's what the evidence suggests. My son loved spicy when I was pregnant with my crave spicy! Thai food. His favorite is Thai food. Ooh, Cozy loves Thai food a lot. Cozy loves spicy a lot, too. She will eat spicy until she's sick. Oh my gosh. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. You're saying they covered up a whole separate murder? But who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid it being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. We have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. Is it the photo? Yeah, okay. Actually, I think that I'm realizing that this has to be Body Harma Canis, huh? And that's his dog. And that's the president. So, let's present this.
Take that!
Excelsius Winner tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in darkness, but there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress, thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. My father? Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winner wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have, that's why.
He did? What was it?
It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. I think we can all agree that that's the president on the right-hand side. And that's the Tyrannosaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him? It's Body Harma Canis. It's gotta be.
Take that!
Excuse me. Eastern robes and a black dog? That can only be Body Harma Canis.
What? The creepy assassin guy?
And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can think of only one thing. That's right, it wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination!
Yeah! And Warner Lagarde and Chairman Winter were...
Yes, I think they were complicit, and more than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Aldown was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination, and not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all. Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until just recently.
Yeah, we even met him.
Indeed, so we have a president killed 12 years ago, and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words.
Right, which is completely impossible.
Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. Yeah, but regardless of this is what I've been saying. But regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Zhengfa may not be a big country, but he held that place together. The president Agent Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. President's mask. The presidential mask is well and truly slipped. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if they were 2 completely different people. But how could one country have 2 presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it is possible for there to be 2 presidents. One is a body double. One of the 2 was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense. I don't know if that doesn't make sense. Moats loves spaghetti. I craved Italian when I was preggy with her. Baby really loves spicy food, too. She lets me know if what I'm eating isn't spicy enough, so I keep habaneros on hand. That's very funny. I love that. A body double. President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Zhengfa, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years, such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago. It's true, there were more than a few assassination attempts, but that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. Not without proof. Do we have any proof that there was more than one president? Oh, excuse me. That's a good question. There's some sort of connection between Knight and Canis. Okay. I don't think... I mean, this would make it make sense, the staged photo.
Take that!
Nope. Wrong. Hurry.
Shit!
Wait, I probably should have looked at the... If you could prove they'd ever been in 2 places at once. Oh, okay. Okay, it's me. You're asleep already. I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird is going on. President Wang is here for some reason, and there's another... The light's out, so I can't quite see it. But look like he was being kidnapped. Anyway, it's probably nothing. I mean... President's presence is embassy until midnight. Well, hold on. Occurred on February 10th, 12 years ago. President Zhengfa was kidnapped and ransomed for $10 million. President's presence at embassy until midnight. President Wang was supposed to meet Amelie Fan at the orphanage at midnight. Maybe it's the case overview.
Take that!
Okay. I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In Amelie Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight, but it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time.
Huh? How come?
Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Lang. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there was two of him.
Ayo!
So the real president, that was the one who died 12 years ago? I think it might have been. But why and who? Who would have hired Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence. This photograph.
Take that!
The picture taken with Mr. Aldown's camera was staged sometime after his murder, and Mr. Aldown was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. An Excelsius winner at Beefy the God helped him do it. Wait! You don't even have a body to support your theory. Are you telling me it magically disappeared? No, in fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time. What? What? Where? Huh? Do they burn him up? They burn him up? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's what they buried. Maybe they buried his bones.
Take that!
Chairman Winner dug something up last night. Something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important.
Wait, you mean?
That's right, the real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. His bones, G-Mom, his bones. Mr. Powers informed us that the construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains.
Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh?
Agent Lang, we need to have this so-called monster footprints analyzed again. Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, get somebody for forensics. I miss the dramaticness of these games. They're so good. I love these.
Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs of a body having been buried.
So it really was him.
Bones were also recovered from the home of Excelsius Winner. The physique looks to be about right, and dental and medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it.
So, as suspected, the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago, and the SS5 kidnapping was in fact a homicide. Yeah! I told you, I called it. You all owe me $5, or I don't know, whatever.
Wow, so it really was a murderer, huh? This case had taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track.
Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings, just to confirm that we understand everything correctly.
Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage.
Nice! Yo, hey, everybody, on 3, we're all gonna spam the chat with nice. 1, 2, 3. Nice! Nice. I went to sleep, I guess. Nice! I keep I'm moving close to my mic and it's losing my face tracking. Nice! I think okay. I re-angled the phone that tracks my face. 12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. It was very nice. His aim, to meet his infant son. I see. The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldown seem likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodyhammer Canis. Oh my god.
That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to
Indeed, but at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred.
Mr. Alldown's murder.
Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the sight that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time, far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point...
Oh, the body double who had come to meet up with his co-conspirators walked right up behind Mr. Alldown,
leading to our unfortunate eyewitness
being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So it was the body double who moved Mr. Alldown's body too?
Yes, I think it probably was.
But none of the footprints could have been his, could they?
Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints. Managed to move the body. Well, I don't specifically know. Was it just that there was a fire?
Take that!
No.
I don't know. I have no earthly idea.
Let me find that. Let me pull up that. Let me pull up that one. I don't want to lose our pacing here. Okay.
Whoa!
It was? I guess it just means it was the shoes.
Take that!
What if the president's double moved Mr. Alldown's body like this? After killing Mr. Alldown, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president...
Of course, he would have been the same shape and size. Boop, boop, boop. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down. I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get.
There is what?
Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping?
Mr. Alldown had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Ms. Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message, so they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true.
By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw!
Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde.
She's the one in the trench coat? How can you be sure of that?
The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints, as he did before.
Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers!
The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9, too small for Chairman Winner, in other words.
Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden
Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination.
Whoa.
It does, which means my father must have noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof.
But the picture was never officially put into the evidence, correct?
No, he appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Shegfa would have plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family name being ruined. So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it.
Well, it's finally coming to light at last.
Oh my god. Is it indeed intriguing? Who's this?
Huh?
What? Who's there? Who could it be? No, it's body armor! That sound, is that a bell? What's he doing there? In his jail clothes. Body armor Canis. Whoa, and the dog. What the heck are you doing here? We're the law. You think you could just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem? I don't remember what his voice was, so we'll just go with like, forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang. I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned, or someone else, I should say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose. Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat. What?
Wait, you know who they are?
In a matter of speaking, what did you call them again? A secret mastermind? Oh, was that Canis the whole time? It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat. The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Helmet? Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, you know, 12 long years ago. Where did you come from? How did you get here? As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant that I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner Lagarde. The imposter president, Winner Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend the young pup again, they might have even succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now. Who could this be? I have no earthly idea who this red raincoat person is. So it was the president's body double who hired you. I remember his words almost as if it were yesterday. You know how many times I've nearly been killed. Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one they always put in danger? When I'm out here being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't be just as good as him? There was a difference, of course, even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes. Rook's not around, and that means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You? Of course I do. I'm the leader now. Me! Seems the king and his knight were much the same. The president's double knew that his employer had a weakness, a young woman named Amelie. How much dog food does he have in that bowl? Listen, I feel like in Ace Attorney land, all food is infinite. Because I don't know if you remember, I forgot his name, but the Scotland Yard cop from the prequel game, he just was constantly eating a never-ending supply of French fries, chips, as it were. They never ended. And I think that's true of everybody. There's just infinite food. They've solved world hunger in the Ace Attorney universe. Oh, Nope. I was gonna cough or sneeze or something. None of it happened. All right. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Locals such as Chairman Winner. Once Ms. Fenn had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap.
The meeting she arranged so the president could meet his son! That would have been the perfect opportunity!
Indeed, and with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, their little conspiracy was complete. Warden Lagarde. Now, quid pro quo, where might I find the pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller are one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage.
Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of a prank, right?
A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No, as I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winner and the guard carrying away a dead body. Infinite bowl of kibble. How could I get into the game for that? Yo, right? I'll just eat fries. I want Frenchy fries. He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. And, being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. Whoa. It seems he had a little kerosene set aside the igloo for just such an occasion. So he spread it liberally around the place and set himself a little fire.
No way! So that's what the fire was for?
It must have been ever so beautiful. Winner and Lagarde were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all this? I do indeed, don't I, Helmet? Yes, I do. Who could that be? Okay, so... Why is she just crew member? Her name is Penny Nichols. Name her Penny Nichols up here. I don't know why they did that. That seems unfortunate. Well... Look, it might be Tabby Lloyd. I was saying before that it might be Tabby Lloyd. I think it's Tabby Lloyd. That's my Betsy. As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wine. But that meant that I too became an inconvenience. The imposter. I hadn't met my friend, the young pup. I wonder if he... Well, okay. Let's just press everything.
Hold it!
You were pretty forthcoming with that particular admission. If I'm honest, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm tired of all the killing. But back then, I felt that death was my path. I embraced it, and strove to learn what it had to teach. I have made my peace with that, and I am happy to admit it. Aren't I, boy? Yes, I am.
I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I definitely don't like the sound of it.
Basically, he thought nothing of murdering the president. And not only is he an assassin, he's now a prison escapee, not someone to be trifled with. But we can't afford for him not to talk. I'll need to tread as carefully as I can. Very well, you killed the president, and you're happy to admit it. Oh, very much so. I wouldn't want you thinking that I drew my blade and missed. But that meant I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal.
Hold it!
You a target, but you're an assassin.
Sometimes the hunter must become the hunted. Sometimes the living must become the dead.
Please, Kay, don't feel the need to add a proverb of your own. Impermanence is inherent to the way of the assassin. Life-takers' lives are taken, so it goes.
Wait, does that mean the people you're sent to kill sometimes try to kill you back, or...?
It happens, occasionally, but it is not what happened this time. The imposter president, Winner, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee
Hold it!
assassins get morked. But Mr. Canis, you're a professional killer, and a famously skilled one at that. Surely escaping even 3 attackers would have been little more than a minor inconvenience. You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem to forget that without Helmet here, I couldn't even walk down the street. Against 3 assailants, I wouldn't have lasted more than a few moments. I see. So even the most proficient assassins are ill-equipped to face a full frontal assault. We're not hugely fond of such situations, shall we say. I certainly wouldn't have liked my chances. And if I hadn't met my friend the young pup again, they might have even succeeded. Again? So the two of you had met before? Yes, on a cold and lonely Christmas Eve. 18 years. The body of Artie Frost. Carmelo Gusto and Artie Frost's sons. That is a loose end. We never really figured out what the deal was with the two kids. So maybe it's not Tabby Lloyd. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. We're cooking with gas today. Okay. So I think it's either the one of the two kids. That's long ago. But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. It was snowing, more than it had in years, and cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at the car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. Yeah, it's the two of them. And inside I found two young boys, shivering and semi-conscious. Two? Yes, and I had found them even... had I found them even an hour later, the poor wretches would never have made it. I took them both to a nearby orphanage. Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? There is. What this is about, Kana, the... day... This was on Christmas Eve, 18 years ago. You're certain of that? I am. Holy smokes! We have something that shows why that date is so significant. Yeah.
Take that!
Take that! That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor.
No way!
An incident in the aftermath of which two children went missing. Yeah, look at him! The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now that you mention it, the little guys did go AWOL, huh? Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would make sense. It would. One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see.
That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition.
Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning. So that was what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys was able to remember any such details. They weren't. No, when we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seemed that they really were on the brink of death when I found them, and the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. They weren't even able to remember their names.
Wow, so they wouldn't have known that they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids.
If what he's telling us is true, that would seem likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next?
By all means.
Yeah, baby. The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. I see. People from 12 years ago. You mean Lagarde, Winner, and the President, I assume.
Well, Warden Lagarde was in charge of the prison when he was an inmate the whole time, right?
I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course. Because you murdered President Wang, but they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for Lagarde and Chairman Winner, too. Exactly, and not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night.
I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's all. Goodbye.
Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody. I know you are, President Wang. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I am employed to kill, which in this case means you. No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him. It might be my only chance. Please, just give me a few minutes longer. I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said, and shook his head.
Neither was I, but the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I've even prepared something in case the worst comes to worst. And the son in question? It was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct? Horns? You can see them? Oh. He's blind, remember. I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. And for longer than you may realize. So the president meant to tell the world about Sean and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough to simply have Canis' word on the matter. Of course! We have something that proves that he's telling us the president said is true, the will. A will everybody knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us, after all. The name in the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. Hold on, I'm moving around a little bit. Boop. Okay. With those 3 pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden Lagarde to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time. And Sean's true identity with it. President Wang was more agile than I'd anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece I'd broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit his mark. So it was Canis who tore off the horn of the Tyrannosaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and that poor pup. The pup and I. You gotta stop calling a human being a pup, bud. Okay.
Hold it!
We'll just keep wrestling again. So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison? I was, via a post office box. What's that? It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address. What do you mean, what's a post office? Hello? I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see. By Warden Lagarde, no doubt. What were the two of you even communicating about? We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That and griping about our respective lots in life. Correspondence chess? But didn't you used to play that with... As unlikely as it may seem, Mr. Canis' chess opponent was Mr. Knight. Was it him? But he's dead. Is he in the... He's the right age. How do we know that he died? Do we know that he died? Are we sure that he died? Well, yeah, no, he was the matter of a whole case, that's right. But whoever we're talking about is alive, so it couldn't have been him. It was Mr. Knight! We found the diagram of this game in his cell, too. Woo! Okay. Printed rather than handwritten. So does that mean Knight had something to do with all that IS-7 business? Wait, could that be it? Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? Okay, hold on. A case from 18 years ago. Well, the ring, yeah. Actually. The Paul Halik ring. This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in here somewhere? A ring? Yeah, the ring. The ring! What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Fender, take a closer look at it if you would. That design! That's Paul Halik's trademark mark. Indeed, it looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work with into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? And why was it not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident? They tried to release Frost's personal effects to the next of kin after the case wound down. But if I remember rightly, old Frosty Boy didn't have any family aside from his kid. And the kid was missing, so they never got it to hand it back to him, not till later anyhow. I heard on the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods. Including the seal, it would seem, which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. Interesting. The one ring, that's it. That's the one. So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son? The cops don't mess around with stuff like that. They would have made sure before handing it over. And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right? Phoenix Wright, welcome back. Hello.
Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight?
Objection!
Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case? Far out, so our only candidate for Genius Mastermind is a guy who already kicked the bucket?
That's impossible! How can a dead guy be behind all this?
It is a little perplexing, but then who else could it be? Oh. Interesting.
Cast it into the fire.
Hold it! He stopped responding. That seems strange. I'm glad you agree. Helmet did too, of course.
That big scary mutt really said that? What, like, woof woof, that's barking man!
He does not need to talk in order for me to hear him, my dear.
He doesn't? Okay, well then let me ask you something. That look he's giving me, that super intense, kind of scary glare, he's not trying to say he's hungry, is he?
He might be.
He might be! Mr. Edgeworth, help!
Kay really isn't fond of Cadus's pet, it seems. I love Miles Edgeworth, too. Yes, there's a good boy. Now, where was I? Ah, of course, I suddenly stopped hearing from the pup. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It does all seem like a little too much of a coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of the man who was pretending to be President Wang all these years. Warden Lagarde murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held at the prison she ran. An Excelsius winner, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seemed at the time that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents. Yes, even from behind bars, it was rather obvious that something strange was going on. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom to look at things. You thought you... Could you be any more brazen?
Yeah, even a thief would struggle to get away with something like, I thought I'd temporarily steal it.
Fear not, nobody was injured in the course of my escape. It wasn't necessary after all. I have my ways. Let's leave it at that, shall we? Leave it at... No way, pal, you escaped. I'd arrest you right now. There will be no need for that, detective. As soon as my business is concluded, I'll return home to my cell. Are you serious? Prison isn't supposed to be some place you can stroll in and out of whenever you please. Strange that you should say that. Weren't you the one who strolled in to try and dig into my past only recently? You. Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. I need to be able to question Mr. Canis further. Could you both try to remain calm for now? Sure thing, sir. Kinda knew you were gonna say that. Fine. But I'm not taking my eyes off a dog, man. Not even for a second, you hear? I did so used to enjoy tapping out of my little letters in Braille. Braille? I don't remember seeing that.
Hold it!
In Braille? That's how you wrote all of them? Well, that's right. I have the tools to do so in my cell.
Huh? So you have to use special tools? I never thought about it before, but I guess that makes sense.
What exactly did you write about, if you don't mind my asking? Oh, this and that, general chit-chat, and chess moves, of course. He wrote the chess moves in Braille, too. That's interesting.
Speaking of chess moves, how does that piece you carved yourself move? The dog?
Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letters stopped. I sat in my cell and tried to imagine where he might have gone.
Okay, nope, I still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who is this puppy keeps talking about?
Who indeed? It seems that not even Mr. Canis knows his true identity. So we should focus on what we do know, that there was a connection between the two of them. I'm particularly interested in how that connection was maintained. Okay, so I guess I just have to present the... We just got this clue, but it made a point to say printed rather than handwritten.
Objection!
So we'll see what happens. You said that you wrote all of your letters in Braille, is that correct? I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you? That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all. Really? But surely that's impossible. How so, exactly?
Maybe somebody typed Mr. Canis' letters out on purpose.
Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them?
So then... Mr. Canis said he wrote his letters in Braille, and yet...
Oh, this is Edgeworth. The letters received by Mr. Knight contain no Braille at all. This suggests there must have been a third party who typed Mr. Canis' letters out.
Guess it could have worked the same way on the flip side too, right? Whoever it was could have taken Knight's letters and turned them back into Braille.
They could indeed. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. Mr. Canis, the answers you received.
They were written in Braille too, yes. So, some mysterious middle person was retyping the Bronxer's missives.
And that same person might well be our secret string player. Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one? Bronco Knight, son of Artie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he and where is he? If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be...
I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me.
Him? But surely not. Wait, I don't remember what that is.
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet!
Of course, it all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is.
What? Who? You have to tell us!
I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well. Okay, well, okay. So Bronco Knight's 24.
Is it Tabby Lloyd?
No, Tabby Lloyd, well, maybe. Who's 24? Who's that age? It couldn't be Simeon Sane. It can't be a lot of... Well, okay. They're making a point. I don't know if... I think it's... I mean... Is it Simeon Sane? Is it Simeon Sane? I mean... Let's try it. It has to be the person behind all this. The person... Okay, I guess that's it. The person who forced Chairman Winner's hand by sending the letters to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and Bug K and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster.
What? Did you really just say what I thought you did?
Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind.
Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth.
What the hell?
I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right. The Berry Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Ms. Lloyd, could I ask a favor?
Oh, little old me. What kind of favor?
You told us you recorded the sound of the Tyrannosaurus breathing fire. Proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture something on your tape recorder, perhaps?
Oh, you're good, Ruffles. Sharper than a gosh dang tack. I captured the sound of that big old beastie breathing fire is what I captured. Sure did, like I said. I didn't precisely see the guy, but boy did I hear him.
Yeah, I guess they were like really good friends. I forgot about that. Can we listen to the tape?
You surely can. Let's see now.
That's it. That sound. It must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this, it's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you said you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not?
Yep, snap me a picture or two, even though you can't rightly see it so well.
We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Your image analyzer, can we borrow it again? Sure, but what do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here.
Where's the monkey?
Gotcha, I'm on it. Yeah, let's look in that window. The clue we're looking for must be here. We just have to find it. Yeah. The fact that it pops in is so silly to me. I mean, yeah.
Eureka!
It's an eye!
That's...
Say, I done told y'all Tyrannosaurus his own dang self.
Yes, there it is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme.
You're finally ready to admit it that he's dang well real, the big bad bull himself.
Objection!
Thought something was actually approaching us. No, because that isn't Tyrannosaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this, if you would.
The very big circus flyer. Oh, wait, look.
You see it, the enormous lion balloon. Whoa! That's the real monster! And the sound Ms. Lloyd thought the creature was breathing fire.
Oh, come on. You really gonna bring me crashing down to Earth like that?
That's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air. They do, and our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator. Okay, but like, did everybody... Did nobody see that balloon? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus?
Circus worker, friend of the Bronxers, son of Gusto. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not serious.
You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. It's hard to believe. Oh my god. I've always sort of hated him. This would make a lot of sense. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time. That's right, Simeon Saint is the one behind all this.
Simeon? But everything, really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that was all lies. That would be too horrible.
I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that?
Hey, where do you think you're going, old man? Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup?
My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done. But he's a saint. Come on. What? No, Mr. Cadus, wait! Grr. Oh, my God. Earth. Damn it, he disappeared.
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth?
Don't worry, I'm fine, but...
Damn you. Are you all right, Sean? He killed my dad. He did, right?
There's no easy way to say it, but... Sorry, Sean, it would appear that he did.
He won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. Somehow, some way. I'll... Overruled. No, Sean. You mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both.
I just put the call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Cadus. I don't mean to hurry everybody, but we better be on our way, too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind? I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, Agent Lang. There is what? Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try and find as a matter of priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping. Yes, sir!
I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth!
Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact.
Bonk! Lena? Hello!
It's good to see you. Welcome. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it. But I'm going to put things right once and for all. Pretty eyes, thank you. I do my best. Ooh, baby. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Heck. Nah, I know what I was saying, but let's just, I think we're beating this today. We're at the end. This stream may run a little long, but there's only one big section left. According to the spoiler-free walkthrough. Okay. God, this same circus music.
Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, he's in costume.
Did you guys come to watch the show?
Hello, Miss Berry, Mr. Saint.
You're a little early, I'm afraid.
All right, Hisoka.
We're still practicing, but I'm glad you kept your promise.
Yes, I remembered you giving me this.
That's so great. You're gonna have so much fun. I think even you'll be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh? I think you've surprised me enough for one day already.
What are you talking about?
Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Berry? That's the eye painted on the balloon you used to advertise the circus, correct?
Oh, yeah. What is this exactly?
I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by the criminal we've been looking for.
You do?
Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, that would be Simeon. But wait, you don't mean...
Oh, Mr. Saint, you took the balloon out late the other night, didn't you?
Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, so I needed to put in some extra hours.
At night, when it would have been even more difficult than usual, a strange time to decide to practice.
But why else would I have taken the balloon out? What are you saying?
That you weren't practicing at all. You were taking an unconscious Kay to the top of the big building in order to frame her for the murder of Rosie Ringer. The security cameras never recorded Kay taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gotten there another way, from the sky. And the only person able to make that happen would have been you.
But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand.
That's not all you did. You also attacked Sean at the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late for the hearing at the courthouse, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to believe me. I never ever do anything like that.
I wish I could believe you, but I can't. Any trust I had in you has been completely destroyed.
That's horrible. Why would you say that? You told me back at the jail. You said you believed I was innocent. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we believe you, and we will get you out of here.
This is just awful. I never thought you'd lie to me. We didn't lie. I swear, Simeon, You said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. That hurts, Kay. It hurts so much.
He's like not changing his expression like at all.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This is the Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person.
I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it, with everybody? You root out their psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to. Exactly the behavior one would expect from the arch-manipulator behind all our recent troubles. I was too blind to see it before, but you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention.
Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have the courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief into dust is kind of a hobby of mine.
Whoa. Oh my god.
I'm evil now. There's a pig! Whoa! Are you kidding me?
That's so funny. Rose, you can have him. Alright, I'm changing his voice immediately. Well done, all of you. Completely different. Well, this is certainly a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for the trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt a fly. I guess that was all an act. But I'm glad we're finally getting to meet the real you.
Simeon, this can't be true, can it?
What do I want his voice to be? Truth lies, what does it matter? No, maybe I can give him sort of a Hisoka vibe. Let me think about Hisoka for a second.
Huh? All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here has made me very mad indeed.
The squirrel in the middle of the chipmunk or whatever it is. And now he's going to pay. Oh my god. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew by the big building. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So you go up in the balloon reasonably often? Yeah, promoting the circus, like I said. Is that true, Miss Berry?
Well, it's true that it's Simeon's job to go up in the balloon and spread the word. I guess that just about everybody in the area would have seen him up there by now.
Well, that same balloon was used in the commission of a crime. Do you think the squirrels are in on the murder? I don't think they're not in on the murder. Look at them go, dude. Come on. Woo! They're so agile. Nonsense. I just happened to be in the area where it happened. Somebody took a picture when I was floating past the big building, that's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happened to be nearby. Thank you very much. Let the clown makeup off. But he won't be Hisoka without it. Alright. But I was just practicing. I fly around the area. Nothing to see here. Okay, I guess I gotta press all this.
You're not giving me much.
Squirrels, that's not.
This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No, you need a wide open space. There's a park over by Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see. And now, how do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? Not by hand, that's for sure. That thing must weigh a few 100 pounds. Goodsling, hello! I'm so sorry. I hate meetings. It's kind of impressive that, I feel like I'm making him sound a little too close to Edgeworth. It's kind of impressive that I can even get it off the ground now that I think about it. I'd prefer if you didn't change the subject. How did you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will you? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Sheesh. We use a truck, okay? You just load it onto the back. Oh, and away you go. A truck, you say? Oh, a truck? A truck, you say? He said that, too. You had to put on actual clothes. I took notes. There were 4 lines. It was over in 7 minutes. I had to go into the office for this. I hate that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, last time I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That could be important. Better keep that in mind. Yeah, day before last. Yeah.
Objection!
Yeah! 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 Look at these caged animals. This truck, it wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance. Huh? So what if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today. One with a large basket loaded on the back. Now I'm home, there's a stream, and I saw a short from your channel. With the one with Shadow's mouth? Because that one's almost at 800,000 likes. But if another short went crazy, I'm curious about it. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Ooh, baby. Probably you're talking about the other one, but I can't. If something's gone bug wild, I gotta know. No, yeah, it's probably just that one. Some of these newer ones are doing kind of good, though. Yeah, no, it's a big boy. I mean, that short is why our channel is at 2,000 subs right now. That's doing almost all of the heavy lifting. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about it not having moved in 2 days is a lie.
Get him! Get him!
Yeah! Agent Lang. Emma. I love Emma.
There you are, Mr. Edgeworth, at last. I've been trying to find you ever since we wrapped up this case yesterday.
Have you tried calling him?
Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away.
And I found what you asked me to go look for. It was loaded onto a truck in the parking lot out back. A blue truck. Well. I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, I'm almost certain. What? Just because it's blue, like a million other trucks? What makes you so sure it's the exact same one?
No, I saw it too. It's the same one for sure.
Objection!
Huh? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
That wasn't me. Whoa. Worthless are the words of a man who can't back up his claims with evidence.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Show me. I demand proof. I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it.
Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck?
The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while.
No way, you can tell that just from that?
What could I use to prove it's the same truck? Fingerprint dusting. I'd like to have the truck dusted for fingerprints.
Huh? Why would you want to do that?
Because I expect to find a certain very specific set of prints. And if I do, that will prove beyond all doubt that it's the truck we saw in front of the big building. Whose prints will prove? Miles Edgeworth. A lot of hearts. Yours? I think you're going to find... You think you're going to find your own prints on there? I do, because I put my hand on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building. Let's see what we can find, shall we? Emma, could you lend us your scientific skills one more time?
Well, that's why I'm here. One moment, please. Alrighty, take it away, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh? Me?
Of course. Who else did you think was gonna do? You thought I was gonna do it? What are you, fucking stupid? Don't worry, it's easy. I'll show you how.
Fine. Though I don't see why you can't do it yourself. Yeah, Edgeworth.
So just spread the powder over the area when I search for prints. Like this.
Boop, boop, boop. Alright, I know how to do this. I know how to luminol test.
Blowing with T should remove
with any excess powder. I don't have a DS game. I can't blow on nothing. That was fun though in the first cuz in the DS version of the first game, cuz it had a microphone on there. So like you would like tap on the screen. Because that case was built for the DS. That 5th case was built for the DS. So you would tap on the screen to put the luminol, and then you would literally blow it in the microphone, and it would blow all the dust away. And that's really cool. But it doesn't make sense any longer. Thank you. Now to try it for real.
Oh, there's no such thing as too much powder. Go fucking bananas.
Let's blow. Oh, it's just right in the middle, huh? Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Woo! We did it.
Powder. That's it. That's a nice clean print you got there.
Can we compare it to my prints right away?
Yep, leave it to me.
That's what his fingerprint looks like.
That confirms it. It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, all right.
And with that, another lie is exposed.
Yark.
So what were you doing in the truck?
It's funny every time.
Oh, just driving around for fun. Kay was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage. This dude is so extra, we love him, yeah. And your truck was sighted nearby. Coincidence? Nothing more. You want me to believe that you were near the scene of 2 separate abductions, simply by chance. Just be honest, you were involved in both. What makes you think they were even connected? A certain very important piece of evidence. That's what. Oh, this should be good, God. What connects Kay and Sean's abductions? I am actually not actually sure what it wants of us in this moment. Was it the red raincoat? Coincidence? I think not. Well, Kay's abduction. Well, so, okay, hold on. I still don't know how the hell... How did she leave? Or he I don't know. I feel like there was still a misconception about that security footage. I don't know. Oh, the person in the red raincoat. The red raincoat. What's the red raincoat? Give me a red raincoat. What's a red raincoat? I don't know. Oh. Wait a minute. Oh, right. Of course.
Coincidence, I think.
Kay was drugged with a dose of a powerful sedative. and a bottle of sedative was found right where Sean was being held captive. The very same brand. No.
Objection.
Whoa, he gets a voice? Ha, I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used, so what? Does that mean everything's connected? You know as well as I do that doesn't prove anything for sure. Yeah, but we must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that can tie him to both crimes. Cops, prosecutors, you, Miles, we're all the same at the end of the day. You force the evidence to fit the crime, or you flat out make it up, just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different from a certain other evidence tamperer we've had the misfortune of meeting.
Objection!
No, I'm nothing like him.
Objection.
Then show me. Hit me with your killer piece of evidence. You must have one, right? It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie him directly to both kidnappings. Okay, you about done there, Miles? No more cheap shots left to fire? Great, well, I have a show to be rehearsing for, so if you don't mind...
Objection!
Hey, come on now, you two. There's no need to get all hot under the collar. Wouldn't want your good looks running down your face now, would we, Simeon, old pal?
What are you sticking your nose in for?
Hey, I just sensed the vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? Thought I ought to lighten the mood. Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of the old Great Thief magic.
You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see if I can do Simeon's voice. Here goes. Objection.
What are you? Take this seriously, won't you?
Thought you could do with somebody running a little interference for you, Milester. Not the most ethical approach, I know, but again, Kay, again!
We can worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try and prove a connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes. Let's forget the kidnappings for now. Is there anything else that suggests he is our mastermind? Of course! Canis was looking for our secret string puller too, the young pup as he called him. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was the same young pup, then perhaps... But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes? So... So we got this. Okay, what's in this? So there's a little bunny. A dog. Yeah, okay, probably not that. So we got the chess set. We got... Lars, the King of Riz. Hello, Johnny Soap. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yeah, this is a little perplexing. This is a little perplexing. So, like, he was in between this. I mean...
Take that!
I guess, okay, alright. I changed my name. Hell yeah, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. And that same person might well be our secret string puller. That's right, our mastermind was involved in Canis and Knight's correspondence chess exchanges. If I can prove that Mr. Saint was the hidden intermediary between the two of them... Alright, that's enough. This is getting painful. You don't have anything, and I have to practice for the show. So if you don't mind...
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Fender. I can take it from here. And I can't take any more of your interventions.
Whoo! Just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Miles Areno's back in the game for sure.
I'm Simeon Saint, the funny clown. Look at me, I'm juggling.
Okay, you can stop now. I feel like I didn't really like Kay that much in the first game, but I've grown to really love her in the second game. Yeah, I love Fender quite a bit. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it. Huh? Where did that come from? Chess? Sure, I don't hate it. Our secret string puller was playing correspondence chess with Mr. Canis.
Objection.
I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was your so-called mastermind?
Objection.
No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was went on manipulating events even after Canis' death. Take a look at this letter, if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it was the person who had inserted himself between Mr. Canis and Knight. And you think that person was me? Why would I go to all that trouble? That's crazy. Could it be me? That's crazy. You're talking crazy talk. To make it appear that the two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that led Fifi Lagarde to murder him.
What? You're saying that he set that up to try and get Mr. Knight killed?
Objection.
Listen to yourself. What do you think I am? Some kind of evil puppet master? Just an animal master. You've seen me. I can barely get the animals to do what I want. If we could find one of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, that would prove the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like to have your room searched. Letters? You won't. Trust me. What? Once I'm done with something, I put it straight in the trash. Guess I'm not the sentimental type. Why get hung up on the past, right? Gah. He must have disposed of any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks. You're just gonna believe him, huh? Star, hello! Happy time zone. I guess you went in without the evidence you needed once again, huh? That's a bad habit, you know. So this doesn't prove anything either. We've fallen short yet again. What do we do now? Are we out of options? It's super rainy and windy, but I'm still sweaty. Yo, that's the way. But then you just cool off, and it's fine. You accuse me of betraying my friend, and you don't even have any proof. You're despicable. But you got this, Travis. You trek all the way. Who was that?
Oh, hi.
Miss Barry, what does she want?
Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person, you mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend?
Yes, what of it? Does she know something?
A letter came from him this morning. For Simeon.
What? What did you... How is that possible? Knight is dead. Miss Barry, we need to see this letter right away.
Sure, I just have it. Here you go. Let's open it up, shall we?
I would cool off if the inside of the buildings are cool and not a toaster. Just stand outside for, like, a second. It's another correspondence chess letter.
The next move from the game with Mr. Canis.
Knight says, can anybody else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you were never gonna beat me, not at chess. She looks like a Russian magical girl. Yeah, I love her. I don't love the voice I chose for her, but that's okay. It's postmarked the 26th of March, the day before Knight died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route.
Well, we do move around a lot. It's part of being a traveling circus. Our mail arrives late all the time.
Just stand in the rain. There's not like, yeah, do it. That'll be great. It's fine. It's a means to an end. Interesting that it was directed directly to you, Mr. Saint. Gah! This is it, isn't it? The proof we needed that you were the one facilitating Mr. Canis and Knight's games. Oh, excuse me. One of the letters you would have transcribed into braille, in order to create the illusion that they were somehow connected. Curse you, Bronco! You're still getting in my way even now. I hate you. I hate you.
Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend.
Hell yeah, Star. Have a good class. Ha! We weren't friends. I stopped thinking he was my friend 18 years ago. Right around the time of the IS-7 incident, in other words. I nearly froze to death because of him. I was just about to head out and meet my dad at the contest. But then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. I was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this, and if I don't do what he says, he's so scary. Stop it, Bronco, stop it. I have to go meet my dad, I promise. If I'm not there to taste his candy for him, he'll be so upset. He needs me. If I don't go, he won't be able to show everybody he's the best in the world. But no, he locked me in that car with him, and the two of us nearly died.
He thought he could get us out, but when he tried the door, it was frozen shut. We were trapped. And that's how I lost my dad. What?
You lost your dad?
Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of a murderer. What does he mean? That doesn't match up with what we know at all.
Simeon, the victim in the IS-7 incident was a guy named Artie Frost.
Yeah, that was my dad's name. My memories got kind of scrambled that day, but what little I remembered was pretty mixed up. So I didn't find out until later that my dad was murdered. The murderer was a man named Carmelo Gusto, a confectioner. Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name. Or maybe I chose not to remember.
You not just break them? I mean, they're like little kids. It's pretty hard to break a car window. Like it's not like the glass on cars isn't the same as regular like window glass in like a home or something. They're typically they're built a little different to kind of be, especially the windshield. They're built to not like shatter and like injure. They're meant to kind of crumble apart. It's like a different kind of glass. Perhaps tempered is the word I'm looking for, but I don't really know too much about it.
Just thinking about the sicko that killed my dad turns my stomach.
Is the cat being held up by a squirrel? Yeah, and the squirrel's being held up by a pig. So I feel like what we're learning now is that he fucked up big time, and he forgot who his dad was. And he thought his dad was somebody else.
Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now? Do you think I'd sit on it if I did? No, I'd have him reported to the police straight away. All I knew is that Bronco's dad tricked my dad, and that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. Bronco was a traitor. He helped his father murder mine. He was the son of a cold-blooded killer. He deserved to die. Objection! I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you've made a mistake. A big one. A mistake? What do you mean? Artie Frost was a sculptor. He'd been working in France not so long before the murder, under the name Paul Halik. So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. I wish I could. Well, I'm afraid it's only natural that you don't, because he wasn't your father. Huh? Is this your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny, not at all, and I'm a clown. I would know about jokes. You're right, it's not, but you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son.
The ring, I imagine.
Take that! Huh? Bronco's chess set and a ring. Yes, take a look at the ring for me, if you would. What does the engraving on it tell you? It's 2 letters, right? It is. This is the seal with which Paul Halik used to mark his works. And it was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago. But why would Bronco have a memento of my father? The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to the man that they were able to prove was his child, Bronco Knight. But that's not... But that would mean...
He's holding rabbits now.
I was... Precisely, that you are in fact the son of Carmelo Gusto. No, that can't be. I'm... My dad was... I remember, don't I?
Uh-oh.
Bronco tied me up and locked me in that car. It was his fault I lost my dad. He deserved to die, didn't he? No way. So I get to see your circus... Oh, wait. This is night. No way. So I get to see your circus thing even though I'm in jail? Huh. Was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game. So the show is just the icing on the top.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
I will, and hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over my next move in the meantime.
Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set. But you can take a look at it later.
A little something? No idea what that might be, but thanks.
Wow.
If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to end like this.
Huh? Did you say something?
Me? Oh, it was nothing.
Yeah, that was careless.
Goodbye, Bronco, and farewell.
I did all that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why I tried to be like Canis while I stayed in touch with him all these years. And there we have it, the truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Canis' correspondent's chess partner, and you were the one manipulating events this whole time. You're right, it was me all along. At last, he's finally telling the truth. I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago, but you knew that already. The president's assassination, just as we thought. Which means he's the one who drew the picture. The way they drew these kids is so silly. And they knew it too, that's why. Lagarde kept questioning me, day in and day out. It got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who could blame me for wanting to get out of there? But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winner would have sent his men after you. No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped coming. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't sleep at night. Even the smallest noise had me chasing shadows. It drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way, moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life I've been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of a prison. No regular person could hope to stand up to people like that. From the time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't even the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of an entire country. What hope did I have? There was only one person I could turn to, Canis, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me. That's quite a claim. Strange to think of our famously ruthless assassin winning the admiration of the child he saved. He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and become a hunter myself. They all became my prey. But I doubt even you imagine that the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police. No, I sure didn't. And as long as Winner was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He nearly even managed to ruin things this morning. Lagarde almost got away with it again. This has all been one day. But I know him now like I know the back of my hand. I could see exactly how it was going to all go down. So he saw right through their plan. How Chairman Winner would try to suppress the evidence and Warden Lagarde's trial. I see. And that's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? You wanted to force a guilty verdict regardless of the presence of evidence or the rule of law.
Objection.
Maybe I did. But how else was I going to make them pay for what happened 12 years ago? Whatever helps you sleep at night, but Winner pulled out one last surprise, didn't he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in the hope of influencing the verdict. In other words, you chose the exact same course of action as the man you so fervently claimed to hate.
Objection.
That's only if I actually kidnapped anyone at all. But I never do anything so wicked. Never ever, me, commit a crime. No. Excuse me. And besides, I don't hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge wouldn't have been nearly as fun. So you admit it. Your motive in all of this was nothing more than revenge. Sure, I admit it. So what? I despised every single one of them. But here's the kicker. I didn't kill anybody. The most you can blame me for is writing the odd letter here and there. A quick note to Ringer to tell her about Winner, another to him so he knew about her. But the fact that they wanted to kill each other and one of them succeeded, that was all on them.
So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions resulted in multiple murders?
Right. Same thing at Gourd Lake. People are much easier to control than animals, you know.
The whole fake assassination plot, I handed that to Bronco on a plate.
That was part of his plan, too. So Rook's murder was...
Objection.
No. That was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't fate a crazy thing?
You can't talk like that about a murder.
Setting the guard up was easy, too. I just made it seem like Knight and Canis were in contact with each other. And slipped the chisel inside the chess set.
So it was you who put it in there.
Yes, it was. I thought that might point everybody nicely in Canis's direction. Worked out pretty well, even if I do say so myself. Who knew that it would all be, who knew that all it... What?
Who knew that would be...
Who knew that would be all it took to make that awful woman murder poor Bronco? I guess she got where she... I'm going crazy now. I guess she got where she got to where she just... I guess she got... He's talking crazy talk. I guess she got to where she just saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know the feeling. Even the smallest thing can send your paranoia into overdrive, and then things got ugly quickly. I had a front row seat for the whole show! You were the last piece to be put into play, of course.
Who? Me?
You solved both cases and finally brought down Winner and Lagarde. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put an end to them both.
Objection!
He talking crazy.
I didn't solve those cases for your sake.
Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor, but you were just playing at being an attorney for a little while, right?
What did you say?
All I had to do was cower and say no, no, no a few times.
And you rode to my rescue like the hero you are. Was getting arrested part of your plan too?
No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought they'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Made my blood run cold for sure. But then who should come through with the turnabout to end all turnabouts? The greatest legal mind of his generation, my knight in shining armor. I bet it felt pretty good saving me like that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know. I didn't do that for many people.
You're wrong. He wasn't playing at being an attorney. He was trying to help you, because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does. He helped me right when I needed it most.
Okay. Aw, did he? You're sure he wasn't just trying on his dear departed daddy's shoes for size?
I think Satan needs psychological assistance.
No, that's not what he was doing.
Come on, K-Meister. Don't let this clown get you down. He's projecting, plain and simple. Painting other folks with his own grubby brush. It's not just that he doesn't trust other people. The poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake? Forget about it. He'll never understand.
You think I care what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I've gotten my revenge on everybody I set out to get it from. And yet... Oh! Okay, alright. You can't prove I incited anything. Think about it. I never actually did anything. What's my crime exactly? Explain it to me. You think you can pin an incitement charge on me? Read my letters. I didn't mention murder anywhere. If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything at all.
That's not true! You kidnapped me!
Sorry, but did I miss the part where you proved that? All I ever admitted was to sending letters. Letters which didn't threaten, coerce, or encourage anybody to do anything. I just passed on what you might call pertinent information.
Ugh, he's a slippery one, I'll give him that.
There's gotta be something we can do. What about this? Excitement stuff he's talking about.
Incitement, Kay. It means to encourage or direct another person to commit a crime. Excuse me, hold on one sec. I'm stretching. I'm stretching my body. Ow! Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh, baby. Okay. In the eyes of the law, he's seen as equivalent to committing the crime itself.
So then we just need to prove that he told them to do it.
You say that like it's going to be easy. Guess maybe you're not so big on due process after all. You think you can make me carry the can for the murders I had nothing to do with? Think again. I don't even have to talk to you if I don't want to. In fact, why am I still talking to you?
I can think of one reason. The tent is surrounded. There's nowhere left to run.
Really? You don't think I planned my escape too? What if Just to pluck an idea out of nowhere. I trained all these vicious wild beasts to attack on command, for example. All I'd have to do is say the word, then sidle off stage in the chaos. What? You wouldn't. I'm just spitballing, but you'd pay to see that, wouldn't you? I could just as easily take Sean hostage with the gun I may or may not have in my pocket. Yeah, you know what? That would make for a killer show. You will do no such thing. It's hard to know what lengths he might actually be prepared to go to. But knowing what we know about him already, we have to be prepared for the worst. Fine, I'll humor you, but once the curtain goes up on this little performance, it better be a lively one. Bore me and we're done here, alright? Let's see if you can keep me entertained, shall we? Gah, he's not going to give me an inch. But there must be something we can do. We can't let his crimes go unpunished. Oh. Maybe this means I can't just be pressing things. Let me just save the game. Here we go. Ooh, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. So... Can't prove I did anything. I never actually did anything. What's my crime? You can pin the assignment charge on me. If you could. You can't prove I did anything at all. This is probably the statement, but... What do we got? I can't zoom in on that anymore. Truck's not it. That's that. Didn't see the president show through. The recording of signals that were intercepted from the bug. Oh, well, she got the bug. Is the bug it? Is it the bug? Oh, it's a bug. It's a bug! Aren't there flower stuff all over everything? I'm afraid you're wrong. I have proof that you meant for at least one murder to happen. Because you said so yourself.
Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made Big Bad Chairman Winter kill little Miss Rosie Ringer.
What? I said that? Weird. I don't remember.
It's a bug.
I know you think you can worm your way out of everything, but this time you're wrong. I am? Yes, because our conversation was being recorded by somebody intercepting the signal from the very listening device you planted. It was.
You got your conversation with the clown here on tape? That's what you're trying to tell us?
No.
Lang G says, a schemer schemes will swallow him in the end.
Ms. Lloyd, could you play us the tape, please?
You bet I can. It's a good thing I came along. Got it. It was this part right here. Mr. Edgeworth, that's Judge Cavell's cell phone.
Who is this? You're the one who abducted Kay.
I can't hear Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. It is right around here.
I was as surprised as...
Huh? That's weird.
Is something wrong, Miss Lloyd?
I'll say. Seems we maybe didn't quite catch the next part on tape.
What?
Why? How could it not be on there?
Ah, poor babies. You think I'd leave myself wide open like that?
Well, think again.
There's something a little special about that bug, you see. It can be turned on and off remotely.
What? I never knew they make those.
Remote control bugs? Sure, they exist, but...
So you switched it off to avoid being recorded.
Bingo! That's a bingo.
But how? You would have had to know you were being recorded in the first place. And I did. Of course I did. It was so obvious that somebody was eavesdropping, and that's because... Miss Lloyd, was it? You knew about the kid prosecutor's kidnapping without any prompting. No, you heard that whole conversation. I did indeed, old pal, but I must say, I thought you would have figured it all out much sooner. Aren't you supposed to be a genius prosecutor? Yeah. Now, where were we again? Oh yeah, at the part where if you couldn't prove incitement, it was game over. Ah, well. Yeah.
Oh, shucks. So my tape ain't gonna be of no use to nobody after all. Come on, I must have recorded something you can use.
If only that were true.
AK Meister.
Yeah?
The old bugaroo was hidden in your pin that whole time, right?
That shake anything loose from the old brain tree?
I don't know. Give me a sec to think.
Francisca's here? You're the only one who's been directly in contact with him before.
Objection.
So sad, relying on flawed evidence, desperately trying to make it stick. Well, that's quite enough of that for now. Next topic, please.
Huh? He's trying to steer us away from our current line of inquiry. The only one who's been in direct contact with him before. Kay had a one-to-one encounter with him only recently. What if the sound from that point in time had been recorded? Ms. Lloyd, how long were you recording the intercepts from the bug for?
Started about, let's see, 2 nights back.
In which case? During which time frame? 2 nights ago. Miss Saint abducted Kay and took her up to the roof of the big building 2 nights ago. What if there was a recording from around that time? Miss Lloyd, quickly, play us any tape you have from the night before last.
Huh? Oh, sure thing.
Just a tape, huh? Just recording on tape.
That's the sound of the balloon!
Indeed it is. At around that time, I imagine Mr. Saint would have been transporting you in it. Which means he can't have been too far away from you or the bug. Oh. Is there anything else on the recording, I wonder? Bang!
Ka-chang! Wait, that noise!
That was a gunshot! Yeah, no shit. Zzz, bzz. You turned the bug off then, too, it seems. Unluckily for you, you were a little late in doing so. There's no escaping it now. That gunshot ties you directly to the case. Huh? What are you talking about? Nobody ever even mentioned a gun. He's wrong. Somebody involved with this case discharged a firearm. Just need to remember who it was, and present that piece of evidence that proves it.
Yeah, wasn't there, like...
Gunshot residue detected on right hand. Flecks of yellow substance. Oh yeah, gunshot residue. Yeah. He shot a gun.
Take that!
I forgot about that. It's written right here in the president's autopsy report. Traces of gunshot residue were detected on his hand. And where was Kay when the gunshot was recorded? That's right, she was in the balloon being taken by you to the top of the big building. However, the roof wasn't as deserted as you needed it to be. Yes, I was there with the president. Wait, not long after we started talking, he noticed something and told me to leave. And if a gunshot rang out shortly after that? Don't tell me you didn't hear it yourself, Mr. Saint. Not when it sounds crystal clear in this recording. You're just going to pretend to ignore me? What else do you expect me to do when you keep spouting your weird theories? We didn't just hear a gunshot on that tape. Bang.
Ka-chang!
If you listen carefully, you can hear that the bullet hit something, too. Could the president have been aiming at Mr. Saint? What would the bullet have struck? On the balloon? Oh, I don't know. What do you mean, when did the bullet strike? What are you talking about? It didn't hit... oh. Well. No, if he was aiming... We just saw the angle. He was aiming, like, up. What the hell? I mean, is it just the balloon? I mean, well, yeah, okay. Maybe it's just that it's the balloon. Okay. Okay. I didn't think I would need to guess that. Sometimes it's, like, too obvious, and I'm just sort of like, well, what do you mean? But no, you're right. It's just that it hit the balloon. I think the president was firing at the balloon. And if he was, what we heard on that tape could have been the bullet hitting the basket.
Let's take a look and see, shall we?
I wonder if there's a bullet. Oh, there's a bullet hole. I mean, a whole bullet. That's a hole, I guess. A hole!
Or the bullet stuck in it!
Okay, it's both. I was both right. We were all right. We are all right, chat. It's fine. There's a bullet hole in the bottom of the basket. I'd call that pretty conclusive proof. How did he not notice that? Yeah! Well, Mr. Saint, how do you explain not just the sound on the tape, but the accompanying bullet hole?
You see everything, don't you? It's pretty impressive, I have to admit.
I doubt there's anything I could hide from you if you really wanted to find it.
Just shut up and confess, will you?
All right. No need to get cranky. I'm confessing what really happened 2 nights ago. I'll admit I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Gavelle and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. But only the president noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired.
But why was he trying to shoot down the balloon?
Oh, that's simple enough. When I arrived, he was just about to murder your friend the judge here. Me? Yeah, you told him about Sean. What did you think would happen? Why do you think he met with you in the first place? He thought you were going to expose him as an imposter. Because she knew the truth about Sean's parentage, he was afraid. Ha! Afraid? Yeah, you could say that. The man was a total coward.
Jose, hello.
His hands were shaking so much when he tried to get rid of me, he couldn't even shoot straight. So you see, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was an innocent bystander.
What really happened? Guess who just did their taxes? Hell yeah. Is it you? I hope it's you. Okay, what do I need to prove wrong here? President, we're already there. Only the president noticed me. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired. I need to do those. We got lots of time. I don't know. I'm kind of like, listen, I don't mean to be too grim, but I'm sort of waiting to do my taxes because, like, what if America doesn't exist in a couple months and then I've given money away? I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. Did he miss? He hit the balloon, but like, I don't know.
Hold it.
Don't remind me of that. I mean, listen, I am of the mindset, I don't mean to be too serious at the end of a silly murder mystery, but like, I think that the best thing we can all be doing right now is to stay informed. That does not mean doom scrolling necessarily, but it's paying attention to what is going on and being and sort of like being real about what's happening. This isn't really like a promotion exactly. I've recently set up a politics channel in our Reddit, and I'm trying to just like post resources and pieces of information. It's sort of come to my attention that like general things I think are common knowledge are not common knowledge. So I'm trying to kind of like just have that channel be helpful and informational for anybody that wants to see it, but without sort of being so much all the time, you know what I mean? But I think it's important to stay informed, and that's one of the best things we can do right now at this time. You're lucky that the bullet only struck the bottom of the basket. Yeah, I tried to get out of there the second he pulled out that gun. Couldn't have my balloon going pop. But it was a close run thing. So you left right then and there? Of course I did. He was shooting at me. Are you saying there's a problem with that? I mean, yeah, because you went on the roof. In the end, you managed to leave Kay there up on that rooftop. Which means you didn't actually leave the vicinity, did you? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you the next part. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. Yeah, they are squirrels or chipmunks or something. I hung around a little longer to make sure the coast was clear, then I landed on the roof. Would you mind appending that statement to your testimony? Makes no difference to me. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch. Do I know that to be true? Or not? Well, he couldn't have. I'll just press this, I guess.
Hold it!
The hatch that leads to the storeroom where the items from the underground auction were kept.
The auction? My memories are still a bit fuzzy, but the auction was 2 days ago, right?
Indeed, the auction was being held on the 50th floor that day. And a bunch of
people were going in and out of the storeroom while it was happening, yes?
they were, which means that if the president really did escape that way, as Mr. Saint says, somebody must have seen him. There's no way he could have passed through there unnoticed. The problem is the time at which each event occurred. But should the times line up, I can think of a certain piece of evidence that could prove helpful to our case. So this story is just what happened. Is that he just happened to witness the event. Okay, we can skip all this. That's just the end of... Okay, so let's go back. Because What's-Her-Chuck was in there. Do I have, like, evidence that sort of... An entrance to the hidden 51st floor. April 5th. He died... Well, okay. Photo taken yesterday. What do we got? There's no footage of the president riding the elevator down to leave. Okay. It's hard. Literally, it says, but didn't see the president pass through. Because we've done this song and dance. You're lying to us again. I am. The president never entered the storeroom the night before last. Ms. Hart testified to that fact. What? And you believe the word of a two-bit hack over mine?
I beg your gosh dang pardon. Say that about the chief again, I dare you. I'll wipe that smile right off of your stupid clown face.
So we know that Hart was camped out on the 51st floor that entire evening. But if our fake president didn't escape through there, then how the heck did he get off the roof? An excellent question, and one that I hope to provide an answer to next. We know that he didn't leave via the elevator, so neither that nor the hatch are possibilities, which leaves only one possible way of escaping that rooftop. How did the president leave the rooftop? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a balloon. He flew. He
flew?
Yes, in Mr. Saint's balloon.
Whoa.
Quit fooling around, will you? Why in the world would I give that guy a lift in my balloon? There was a security camera on the elevator, and Miss Hart was on the 51st floor the whole time. There's no other way he could have left that room.
Objection.
You know what the circus is all about, making the audience think you're in danger, giving them a thrill. But it's time to bring this act to an end. I'm not in danger here, even if you think I am. What do you mean? Watch and learn, Ms. Hart. Can I ask you something? You were keeping guard on the 51st floor the whole time, right? Never even blinking for a moment?
You bet your big toe I was. I done said as much in my testimony.
Huh. So the noise, the sound of Miles' faithful assistant falling through the hatch, that didn't scare you so badly that you fainted?
So maybe I ought to mention this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out, unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened? That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing into the storeroom floor.
What? Well, so what if I did? Ain't a girl in the world don't get caught a little unaware sometimes?
Sorry, Miles, but that's what you get for putting your faith in these people. Objection! Doesn't matter. Kay can't have fallen down the hatch until after the president left the room.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? Allow me to offer a little counter-theory. The coward fake president fired his gun at me. Then he hid in the shadows until after your friend fell down that hatch.
So what if he did? What would that mean?
Objection! That was... Come now, I'm sure even you can see what I'm insinuating here. It's elementary. If the president hid until after Ms. Hart fainted, he could have passed right through the 51st floor undetected. No. And there we have it. Your little theory about the secret storeroom falls apart. No! Did he have to do that to me in my own voice? That's right, and another thing. I might have left Sean's identity slip to our pal, the president, while he was hiding in the shadows. That's why he went to the set to try and murder him the next day, only to wind up being killed himself. That's right, it was Sean who murdered the body double. Objection! What possible reason could the boy have for doing so? Oh, a pretty good one. He already knew he was the president's son. And how did he discover that exactly? Because I told him in one of my trademark letters. What?
He's lying.
Oh, you bet I am.
Huh?
Or am I? Maybe I did tell him, and maybe I didn't. Well, Shawnee boy, which is it?
It was my fault the Torosaurus head fell off the roof. I admitted that much already. But I didn't find out about my D8 until today, I swear.
Huh. Well, well, well. I knew about the falling head thanks to the bug. But who knew it was you who made it fall, and the president died from being crushed, was it?
Ack.
All right, well, that's confirmed at least. You were the murderer. Congrats on getting your revenge. That ties everything up pretty neatly, wouldn't you say? Although I guess you could say something more like, and so the pieces fall into place at last. Well, counter my unassailable logic if you can.
Okay. I can do that.
So you know my MO by now, right? I'm a hands-off kind of guy. I just like to pull a few strings here and there. And that was the case with Bronco, with Chairman Winner. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Besides, I thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head. And who set old Torosaurus's noggin a falling,
I think he did it, actually. He did murder.
It all makes perfect sense. That's how our imposter wound up dead. No doubt about it. And what was the motive behind the murder? The little truth I shared, just like I said. Get it? The truth? That thing you're so fond of? That's what caused the murder here, not me. No, that's not possible.
Did he crush him with the balloon?
Well, is there a detective in the house? Somebody arrest that boy! Can't help noticing nobody rushing to slap on the handcuffs. What's the matter? Grr. Just as I thought. Admit it, you're all the same. You, Winner, that idiot phony president. You want the real culprit to go free so you can railroad me into a jail cell, don't you? That's the justice you all claim to love so much. You only love it when you can twist it to suit your needs.
Whoa, a raid! Oh! Thank you so much for the raid, As You Light. How was Deltarune? What part were you playing? Did they release part 3 today? Just kidding.
No, that's not true.
Objection.
Ha! Well, if you're not going to make the move, I guess I'll have to step outside and speak to an officer myself. Once I tell them the kid here's a murderer, maybe they'll finally do something.
Objection.
We're not done with your testimony yet, Mr. Saint. How did I know you'd make some excuse for stalling even longer? But you still don't have any proof, do you? Or any chance of winning this? Tell me I'm wrong. And yet you still want to prolong the agony? Well, as long as you know what you're doing.
Ooh, baby.
He's not holding back. I don't know how he has the power to do that. What, did you forget that little Shawnee's life is on the line, too?
Hey, Malzarino. Take a deep breath for me, would you?
Why would I do that, Fender?
Because it's times like these you need to kick back, take stock, and be grateful for what you have. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show off our biggest smiles, remember?
We're fighting Spampton. Have a great stream. Hell yeah. Thank you so much.
In the way in which the president made his escape is what you and Laughing Boy can't agree on. So how about this for a little thought experiment? What if it's not about whether the big guy in the purple jacket got on that balloon or not, but rather, under what conditions would Simeon have been cool with letting him get on board?
A turnabout in thinking. All right, guys.
Forgive the interruption, just my 2 cents worth, or your old man's, I guess I should say. Maybe Gregory's techniques can still prove useful in this crazy modern era, this modern crazy time of ours.
He's right. Under what circumstances could the body double have been allowed on that balloon? He was a physically imposing man, and what's more, he was carrying a gun. Could he have been drugged? No. There was no traces of sedatives found during his autopsy. In which case, surely not. Are you about ready to continue, Miles? And don't forget, this is what we're playing for. This is going to be tricky, but I have to tear his testimony down, one statement at a time.
They threaten us with that all the time, but it's like, of course I'm just gonna save. I am gonna just save. They can't stop me from saving, clown boy. Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Okay. So what do we got? That was the kid. I think he crushed him. Thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head. I think he was crushed with a balloon. Oops. That makes a lot of sense.
Objection!
Oh! That's it. That worked. Hell yeah. Okay, hell yeah. We're master detectives, chat. Sean didn't kill the president. The president was crushed by a monster. What? Did you really just say that? You? Oh, I get it. He's the kid who can communicate with giant beast, right? Did he use his special powers? The only person in communication with in communion with monsters was you. Sorry, but you must have me mixed up with somebody else. No monster pals here,
Objection!
Why the false modesty? You are very close with at least one such creature. In fact, you can make this particular monster do exactly as you command. It was you who killed the president, Mr. Saint, and I can prove it. What? You talking about the lion balloon? Yes, a quivering mockery of a monster filled with hot air, but a monster nonetheless. Not entirely unlike Mr. Saint himself. Sorry, you lost me. What are you trying to say exactly?
Objection!
You seemed very keen to stick to your story about having manipulated Sean and the president. But no matter how true you may have wanted it to be, that was nothing more than a desperate lie. Even the most skilled animal tamer can't make the dead do his bidding. And the president was dead long before he left that roof, having been killed by your balloon.
Oh,
I get it. That thing may look lighter than air, but it weighs a few hundred pounds, right? When the president attacked you from the roof, you had to think quickly in order to protect yourself. The method you chose, landing the balloon right on top of him. It's pretty good aim. Oh my gosh. You didn't need to let him ride on that balloon, and he didn't need to coerce you into taking him, because what you took away was his dead body.
Objection!
Wait a minute now, Miles. What if what you're saying is true, the president would have been killed 2 nights ago? Which would mean the time of death recorded in the autopsy was wrong. It would? Wow, you're really losing your touch. Look again, it's written right there. Time of death, April 5th, at approximately 11 p.m., clear as day. Yeah.
April 5th? That was yesterday, which means...
Exactly. It means he died when the Tyrannosaurus head fell off that roof. Well, what does that mean? All right, Sean, it's time to be honest with us all. You know it's the right thing to do. You killed your daddy, didn't you? You hated him, didn't you? We get it. Who wouldn't? He just left you. What kind of father would do that?
no, that's not what happened. I already told you. I didn't know who he was until today.
Oh, but you did know, because I told you myself. Gah, can my theory really have been so wide off the mark? I want to thank you once again, Miles. You hounded Winner and Lagarde until their crimes were finally exposed, and by ruining them both, you helped me get my revenge. Gotta love those powers of deduction. If the time of death matched up, everything else would fit. So could it possibly have... Could he have possibly cheated the time of death somehow? Oh, and what was the other guy's name again? Carmelo Gusto? You even ran him down for me. That was some great work you did there. Of course, Gusto, the IS-7 incident. He killed Frost and froze his body in order to conceal it. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. I don't remember his voice.
Yeah, bingo.
Oh my god. I only wish I could have been there to see his downfall, too.
How can you say that? He was your father.
It's so scary. Miss Lagarde just keeps asking and asking about what happened that day. Where are you, Dad? Where are you coming to get me? Please, I need you to come take me away. Is it because I broke my promise? Because I didn't show up in time to help you taste your work? He was no father. He left me all on my own. What kind of person would do that? That is true. We may have shared the same blood, but that's it. Father, what a joke. You may not want to hear this, Mr. Saint, but you share more than blood. Hate him all you like, but you're more like your father than you know. Huh, what's that supposed to mean? Fate can be strange sometimes, but this was no coincidence. You and your father were the same, even in the methods you chose. You deliberately threw off the time of death, just as he did. That's right. We had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor. A refrigeration unit in our depot?
I threw off the time of death. And how did I do that exactly? By hiding the president's body in a very specific place.
Oh, I don't know. Is it the Sunshine Depot? Maybe it was there. Maybe it was there. Maybe it was there.
You needed to keep the body cool somewhere, and you also needed somewhere to keep Sean. Who knew that the two were connected? You're talking about the kidnapping again. Why are we bringing that up now? Because much as you may wish we had forgotten, we know that you kept Sean in a refrigeration unit. The same refrigeration unit in which you kept the president's body. Just as your father froze the body he was trying to conceal 18 years ago. What? You're saying I'm the same as him? The same as an animal who abandoned me? A sad irony, but the undeniable truth nonetheless. Objection. Shut up! I'm nothing like him. I could never be like him. He's nothing to do with me, and we're nothing alike. Objection.
Whoa.
Sorry, kiddo, but I think it's pretty clear that you and old Gusto have more than a little in common. You even told us you didn't like sweet stuff way back when we first met, right? If that's not a product of your daddy issues, I don't know what is.
Yeah, you don't understand. You may have tried to disown your father, but he lives on in everything you do. You think the same way. And you're every bit as prepared as he was to sacrifice others in order to protect yourself. Your crimes were even exposed in the same manner. You couldn't be more similar.
Oh my god.
What should I say? I don't know anything about the refrigeration unit, and the kidnapping, nothing to do with it. Objection! Daddy issues, card pull. Nonsense, you did it so you could blackmail Judge Cavell. We know for a fact you were involved. Objection! You're a real danger to be around, you know that, Miles? What aren't you going to accuse me of? But it changes nothing. You still don't have any proof of incitement, of kidnapping, of anything. Oh, wait. Are you planning on maybe fabricating some? Taking a leaf out of the old winner playbook? Never. I would never do that. I can't let myself rise to the provocation. What was the line? No matter what happens, we must find the truth. Something like that. Ha! But only when the truth suits you, huh? That's how the law keeps people down, isn't it? And why I had to get my revenge myself. I got away with it. I got away with it all. Lagarde, winner. And now you. None of you can touch me.
This is bad, Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't there anything we can do?
Everything points to this man being our culprit. But we need evidence, even just one piece. The one piece? All right, it's been fun, but it's time we brought this little show to an end, don't you think?
We have proof.
Stick around for the main event, though, won't you? I'll even let you in for free, if you'll finally admit defeat.
Hold it. Who is it?
Who is that?
Yo! Gumshoe, save the day, please.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Gummy, where have you been?
I thought he was here.
I've been doing my job, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me. And Detective Gumshoe, do you have anything to report? I had them look into a few things real quick, sir, about the refrigeration unit where the kid was kept. It was registered to the Berry Big Circus, just like you said. Ha ha! And there it is, just in the nick of time. Excellent work, Detective. Well, Mr. Saint? Must be some kind of mistake. Why would a circus need a refrigeration unit? A valid question, I suppose, but we're no experts on the circus trade. Perhaps we could ask your department manager for her thoughts on the matter. Well, Ms. Berry?
We do hire a unit to store all the food for the animals, but I don't know where it is. I leave that kind of thing to Simeon. He's so good at that kind of thing.
Ah! You fool!
Eek, Simeon, you're scaring me.
Where have you been, Regina?
Such a shame, but rushing to find a solution after the fact so often leads to mistakes. You knew that if the body was found in the unit, the suspicion would fall on you. So you panicked and moved it to the grounds of the big building instead. Ah! But you weren't counting on Sean being found in the unit when you kidnapped him. If only you'd known you were up against a great thief and an even greater detective.
Yay!
Is everything all right? You're looking a bit pale.
Well, it's the makeup, Miles.
Don't think you've won just yet, Miles. You're missing proof for the most important part of your little theory. I am. Perhaps you could enlighten us.
She's just been chilling in the back eating circus peanuts.
You don't have any evidence that I crushed the presidential faker with that balloon. And I know you don't, because there isn't any.
I'm afraid there is.
What?
Mr. Saint murdered the victim as we think he did. There should be traces of your misdeed on this piece of evidence. The balloon?
Take that!
The balloon. There were flowers. Yeah, I think flower residue should be on it. Crimson! Hello.
Analysis of the balloon basket should turn up the evidence we need. The balloon again? You already have your bullet hole. What else do you expect to find?
He's meant to find plenty, actually. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? If there's truth to be found, then he'll find it. He's a hero of justice.
He sure is. We'll find something for sure. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out of way tighter spots than this one.
What they said. We believe in you, Miles Reno. Bring it in. No, and so does your pop. He's looking down on you right now. I know he is.
Go get him. Fuck him up, Miles.
Just stay calm and see this through to the end, Miles Edgeworth. A perfect victory is only moments away. The president's body double was killed by the balloon. Traces of a certain substance will prove that. And you, Simeon Saint, will pay for your crimes at last. I'm looking forward to this.
Is this just the final piece? Time to wrap up all the mysteries of past, present, once and for all.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, deal the final blow to this unforgivably wicked man.
This last piece of evidence will prove your guilt beyond a doubt.
Yeah, the flowers. It's the flowers!
The bouquet!
I like Edgeworth's dad. Me too.
When Sean found the president's body, he also found a bouquet of lion lilies.
Lion lilies, symbol of a connection between parent and child. A popular flower back in Zhangfa.
That's your proof? A bunch of flowers that will be rotting at the dump by now. A bunch of flowers that Sean threw away. So much for your beautiful symbol of parental connection.
That's got nothing to do with any of this.
Ignore him, Sean. You threw those flowers away, that much is true. But the bond they represented remains as strong as it ever was. The president held on to them until the last, an act which provided us with the final piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about? The flowers Sean disposed of had been squashed flat. They must have been crushed by the balloon. If we examine the basket for traces of lion lily pollen, what do you think we might find? No. You don't need to do that. You looked over the basket just now. Anyway, if there was pollen stuck to it, you would have seen it. Those flowers are bright yellow. Objection! Not all evidence is visible to the naked eye, Mr. Saint. Huh? Emma.
Yeah.
I'd like to call on your scientific skills once again, if you don't mind.
Leave it to me. All right, let's take a look at this balloon basket, shall we?
When are we bringing back Puzzle League? Probably. That was probably just a one-off, but like, there are some fun versus stuff coming up in the future. We got videos scheduled all the way to the 17th right now. I've got something. Bright yellow pollen, just like you said. It's from the same flowers. If it's from the same flowers, it shouldn't take more than another quick test to prove it.
What?
Got him! Oh!
And there we have it. You murdered the president, and this murder you carried out yourself. No, how could this... No! You crushed the president with that balloon. Then you loaded his body into the basket and took him to the refrigeration unit.
But why? Why go to the trouble of removing the body?
Because he knew another incident was scheduled to occur that same evening.
Oh, the Rosie Ringer's murder!
Exactly. If he had left the body there, it would have interfered with his other plans.
I get it, and he couldn't leave the body in the refrigeration unit for too long either, right?
Indeed not. So while returning to the big building to drop the body off again the following night, he must have observed the fire Sean caused and the Tyrannosaurus head falling as a result. And that's what gave you the idea, wasn't it? To frame Sean for the murder.
Yeah! You made it seem as if the falling head was what killed him, so that my son would take the blame. Despicable coward.
In order to achieve your aim, you lowered the president's body from the balloon to the lot below. And while he was dangling from the rope you used, he was caught on Sean's rehearsal tape.
No! How did you?
How did you see right through it all? How?
How?
You manipulated people and you manipulated this case, just as you manipulate animals on the stage. You thought you were all powerful, but your reign is at an end.
The animals look like they're mad with you, Symbian. Even Money and Isaiah. They thought you were their friend, but you're not. They're sad and mad all at the same time.
Stop it! Stop looking at me like that! Perhaps they will when you finally stop clowning around. Ow! You're not cut out for comedy. Your tale is destined to end with a whimper. Don't! Get away from me! Get away from me! Leave me alone! Dad, where are you? I'm so scared. I don't know what you're talking about. I've done nothing wrong. Nothing! I'm not the bad one. They are. Why, Bronco? Why did you stop me from going to see my dad? If only none of them did what they did, I wouldn't have had to.
Yeah, well, but you did, bud.
I couldn't trust the police. I couldn't trust anybody. I was all alone with nobody to help me.
Oh, hello?
But that man, he helped me. Cadus was the only one who ever helped me. So what if I used people? I had to. Is that so wrong? No, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! And then he died. The end. What are you gonna do? Arrest an elephant? No. It seems the game is up at last. Who's that? Oh, it's To Killer.
To Killer. Mr. Edgeworth, may I be the first to congratulate you. You have unmasked the person behind this entire sorry affair. Now I am free to...
Whoa. No!
Guns are so clumsy, don't you find?
Look at him. Look at him down here.
I don't have a gun.
Please, not only are you carrying one, you were just about to draw it.
He must have stolen it from the president after murdering him.
This gentleman betrayed a bond of trust. He knew the so-called president was an imposter, and yet he employed me to kill him nonetheless. There is nothing more dangerous for an assassin than to be lied to about the nature of one's target. If one does not know what cards one's opponent is holding, one can be very unpleasantly surprised. But that was not your true crime. No, thinking you could deceive me, manipulate me. That is the crime for which you are about to pay.
No! You're Val protecting your kid? Yeah. Yo, what? Hello?
You!
It's been a while, To Killer.
Step aside, Cadus. That man is my target.
I would politely ask that you call off this particular job. He'll pay for his crimes, but in prison, not at the end of your blade. Oh my god.
And if I refuse?
Let's just say that I might not take the loss of one life that I ever saved too well. Wait. I might not take the loss of the one life that I ever saved too well.
You save a life, Body Harmer Cadus, the blind butcher himself.
Preposterous, I know. But yes, I, who have taken so many lives, once chose to preserve one, that of an innocent young pup. And he, in his turn, saved mine. Something of a bond formed between us. Laugh all you like, I know I would. But I would respectfully request that you spare him. As one professional to another, I ask that you let this particular target live.
Very well. The boy must mean a lot to you.
Wow. All right. Now his ice cream's back. Thank you. I am in your debt.
You need not thank me. I simply see little point in the two of us killing one another. Now then, I bid you all good day.
Whoa. Hello. No, get back here. Yeah, his dad this whole time. Cadus, yeah, right? You have my thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. This young pup needed to be shown the error of his ways, and you have done just that. All right, I suppose we'd better be getting back. Our ironclad enclosure awaits. Doesn't it, Helmet? Yes, it does. Hold it. Oh, hello.
You killed my dad, didn't you, old man?
I will not lie, I did. My victims deserve to be remembered at the very least. But I sense a great hatred for me from you, horned pup. In that case...
Irk. Sean, no!
You must not falter, little one. Here, you may use my knife. Take it, and cut my throat. One slice is all it takes. I was growing rather tired of carving my little statues anyway.
I want revenge. I want it so badly. Sean, don't do it!
Please, Sean, I beg of you.
At least, I did until just now. I would have done anything to make you pay, no matter how long it took.
Oh, but you should make those who have wronged you pay. It'll make you feel so good, trust me. All the pain, all the suffering, it all goes away. It drowns it all out, numbs it.
Maybe it does, and listening to you, I thought maybe that's what I wanted.
Sean!
But it's not just about me. Say I get my revenge, how does that help anybody else? If I become a murderer, my mom suffers 10 times more than I ever would. And so would all the people I work with. They're counting on me, and they worry about me.
Thoughtful words indeed, little one.
Yeah, well, I get it now. I won't ever forgive you, but I shouldn't be the one who gets to punish you. That's what these guys are for. My mom, the prosecutor, people like that. Sean!
Yeah, this is the end of the game, yeah.
Wow, you may be young, Sean, but you're way wiser than I'll ever be.
You could at least consider trying to get better yourself, okay?
This is my thought exactly. It's just like, oh,
I'll just be stupid forever!
very well. Then I suppose we'll be on our way. With me, young pup.
On our way to where?
Where else? To the prison. Our home.
Our home?
Oh, baby! This has been one of the best games, I gotta say. And with that, the case came to an end. A case that had dragged so many people into its orbit. But as for me, there was one last thing I had to do. The dark side, some consolation cookies. I want cookies. Oh, he has to stand trial even now? Are you kidding?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth.
What's the big idea, big guy? Want to tell us what we're doing here?
All right, everybody. One's in the chat. If you know the answer, don't answer. But one's in the chat if you think Fender, by the end of the end credits, will get a hug from somebody. And two's in the chat if you think he will still never get a hug by the end of this game.
What's the big idea, big guy? Want to tell us what we're doing here?
Mr. Edgeworth, your request has been processed and approved.
Huh? You're what now?
I've asked for my prosecutor's badge to be reinstated. Well, we knew that was the case.
Your badge?
He's a prosecutor in the future, so I mean, he didn't not be a prosecutor. I mean, I'd hug him, but I'm 3D. Well, he's just been trying to... Cookies from Crave, yeah. Put them in the foods. What is the meaning of this? I don't know what Crave is. I am returning it. From this day forth, I'm a prosecutor no longer.
I still can't believe you did that for me.
A certain man once said that to be an attorney is to be a defendant's most trusted ally, and that by believing in your client, the truth will make itself known. Excuse me. That man's image has been forever burned into my memory. As strongly as the vision of my father fighting in the courtroom.
Good old Gregory.
But that's his and my father's path. Mine lies elsewhere.
Mr. Edgeworth!
My path is that of the prosecutor. It always was.
Well, then I guess that's that.
I'm sorry.
No, I dig it. And besides, I can tell by that look in your eye that your mind's made up.
It is.
All right, then. Looks like our work together is diddly time. And just don't come crying to old Eddie if you change your mind. This club's now closed to new members.
I understand.
Hey, Milester. Care to tell me why, at least?
Oh.
How come you're so dead set on popping the old prosecutor's hat back on?
You once asked me something, Fender.
Are you gonna keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you, one only you can answer.
You're a problem, come on. I've been thinking about that question ever since, and how I mean to live my life. And now that this case is over, I think I finally know the answer. I'm going to help people as a prosecutor.
But can't you also do that as an attorney?
Look at it this way, Simeon Saint was also a victim of sorts. He lost his only parent all those years ago, and with him, his ability to believe in a just world. I know how that feels. To lose somebody so important to you, to lose faith in everything. To doubt everything and be utterly alone, to fight and fight and fight.
Look at him go.
All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty, so I make that my policy. But I was lucky. Somebody was kind enough to save me from myself. And we're not going to show who it was.
I don't know why they're so dead set against mentioning Phoenix in these games. Like, at all. I don't know.
Mr. Saint had nobody. He had no faith in the law. He felt that seeking revenge himself was the only option. But I doubt even you imagined that a body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police.
No, I sure didn't. As long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever gonna stand.
He nearly even managed to ruin things this morning. Lagarde got away with it. Almost got away with it again. I want to help people like him.
And how do you plan to do that?
If he had been able to rely upon the law, none of this would have happened.
Chairman Winner made a mockery of justice, and in doing so, drove Mr. Saint away from seeking it. The law is only as good as its practitioners. It can be a shield that keeps the people safe from harm, or a sword wielded to wound them. Just one among many of the law's great contradictions.
You could say that again. Well, yep, it's what we folks in the trade like to call legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect.
But one cannot solve such contradictions in the law without engaging with it. I don't think an attorney could have saved Mr. Saint, but a prosecutor, a custodian of the law, I think perhaps they could have. I plan to take up my badge again and confront those contradictions at every turn.
Very Milesarino. I like it. You know, it won't be easy breezy though, right? Fighting the law itself, that's lawyering on hard mode.
I understand that, but somebody has to do it.
Oh, I don't doubt that. And if it has to be anybody, it should be you. Laws are like people, I guess. They both gotta grow and change. Adapt or perish, am I right? You're gonna smash this. I just know it. After all, you're Gregory's boy, through and through.
It ain't easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. It's not.
And if there's one thing that man did not know how to do, it's give up. Eyes on the prize and straight on till sunset. That was his motto. You know what? I saw that same determination on your face the second you mentioned taking up prosecutorial.
What? I think this is supposed to be prosecuting again. Prosecutoring? I don't know.
You know, it's really, grown and changed. Hate to be a big cheese ball, but you. I only wish your dad was here to see it. He'll be as proud as all get out.
Fender, thank you.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, if you're ready to begin, we can get the ceremony underway.
Please.
Bonk.
By the power vested in me by the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, I, Verity Gavel, do hereby, in the sight of the Almighty Goddess, reinstate Miles Edgeworth as a servant of the law.
Yay.
All right, you're a prosecutor again!
Best news I've heard all week, sir.
Well, Mr. Prosecutor, I got a scoop. Your pops is gonna want to know what his kid just signed up for. That his kid just signed up for the opposition a second time.
Thank you again, Fender, for everything.
Don't thank me yet. The next time you see me could be across a courtroom. And this face is a whole lot less roguishly charming when it's not on your side of the aisle.
I would relish the opportunity to face an attorney trained by my father. I hope that day comes very soon.
Prosecute these nuts. Hell yeah. Somebody hug him.
Alrighty, Fender out.
Nope, he's never. Welcome back into the fold, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Thank you, Judge Cavell. I owe you more than I can say.
You do?
You strove to right the wrongs of the committee from the inside. That must have been a lonely battle indeed.
Not at all. I was never truly alone.
That's right! You had the goddess of justice on your side.
Thank you for teaching me that it's possible to fight in such a way. The contradictions within the committee are like those within the legal system itself. If we aren't able to overcome them, the real truth will forever evade us. I have you to thank for teaching me that, and for setting me on this path. I hereby swear to confront the contradictions that afflict the law and to overcome them.
And I thank you for your commitment to that cause, as does the Almighty Goddess. I truly believe that such efforts are necessary in order for the law to grow and improve.
I will look forward to seeing you in the courtroom again soon.
As will I. You did not see the best of me when I last oversaw a trial. The next time will be different. I will show you what it means to serve justice with true impartiality.
Judge Cavell, I don't mean to call your motivation into question.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
But to my mind, the ideal judge is not wholly impartial. The ideal judge is human. Even in the courtroom, they laugh, they cry, they rage, they smile. And then, when all is said and done, they pass down a judgment based in that very humanity. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but perfection isn't always the loftiest of ideals, and it's certainly not the only thing to strive for. That's a good life lesson, everybody. Forgive me, this is my opinion, nothing more.
You are right, of course. There are other ways. I thank you for sharing your insights. Mr. Edgeworth, there is another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winner. Someone else was with me, someone other than the goddess.
Bye-bye.
Of course, Sean!
This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near gave me hope. No matter how hard things get, no matter how formidable one's opponent, when we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going, no matter how hard the road ahead. Mistakes have been made, but we must fix them, for Sean's sake more than anyone's.
Like the mistakes made in the incident in which his father died.
So you see, there is something more important even to me than the words of the goddess. Haha, though it might anger her to hear me say such things.
So that was your secret weapon all along, the strength of your bond with your son.
Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I should not strive for an unachievable perfection, but I must grow. As a servant of the law and as a mother. That I believe above all else.
I see. It seems that we both have plenty still to learn.
Indeed, we are neither of us perfect yet. Let us continue along our chosen paths, and continue to grow as we tread them, until we meet again. I will look forward to that day. May the goddess watch over you as you embark upon the next step of your journey. Yay!
Bye.
Where's Augustus? Give me the Augustus!
We'll see him in the end credits, I'm sure. I lost the title of prosecutor, but I've regained it. And in so doing, I've seen a new way. Oh god, I'm determined to follow that path until it finally leads me to the truth. No matter how hard it might be, no matter what obstacles might arise. Woe betide anybody who stands in my way. For everyone who may be, they might say, I lift my voice and shout.
Objection.
That went too fast.
Yay! Y'all, we did it! I don't know how many months I've been playing this game, but holy shamoly. We get to see...
So, Chief, what kind of scoop we looking to land ourselves next, huh?
We get to see what everyone's up to.
Did I teach you nothing, knucklehead? We're journalists, dang it. Leads are our stock and trade, our bread and butter. You don't just hand that stuff over, not even your dang apprentice. Sorry, Chief. Guess I still got a whole bunch to learn, huh? Well, all right then. Better go track down some leads my own self. Well, that's a spirit. You go get 'em, champ. Before you mosey on down the way, mind, sharing what kind of leads them there leads might be? Huh? But, Chief, you... Come on now, I'm pretty much your editor, ain't I? Can't hold out on the boss. Who? Come on, Chief, that's cold. Nice! Everybody say nice, baby! Nice, nice, nice! Ow, 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 ow! Clap, clap, clap. Yeah, yeah, Gumshoe. Get him, get him. Nice. Oh, no, he bleed.
My arm wound has yet to fully heal, even now. The bodyguard who inflicted it was a skillful practitioner indeed. I shan't be forgetting him in a hurry. But never mind that now. Time to return to the life of a simple ice cream seller, although I have been thinking that perhaps crepes would be more my speed. Well, no rush. I'm sure there will be time to ponder the matter before my next job comes in.
Oh, baby. What a bunch of characters. I really feel like... No, this game was a bop from start to finish.
Sure, you might knock me out my butt last guy, but I ain't out for the count just yet. I'll be keeping my guard up and looking for an opening. We'll get out of this dump yet. Ain't that right, Teddy? The second the bell rings for the next round of escape shenanigans, we'll come out swinging. Till then, it's training, and more training.
Let's see if I can remember every character's voice that they include here. Oh, God. This butthole, this booty hole.
You want to know if I'm still planning on becoming an animal stylist? Sure, I'm still studying every single day, still up to my elbows in mud. But I guess it suits me better than being a newspaper salesman. I plan to make it my new career when I finally get out of here.
Bow wow.
What's that? Is my release a few more years away? Now, because I helped warden the guard? Yeah! Oh, no. Why do you think I'm being so nice? I don't care about the freaking license. I just want to get out of here. Why me?
He murdered somebody is why him. He committed murder, everybody. He is the very first murderer of the very first Phoenix Wright game. And you learn that immediately, so that's not a spoiler. But...
I was so shocked when I learned what Simeon had been up to this whole time. I trusted him. I was his boss. Still, can't sit around being sad forever, I guess. The show must go on. We can't let the magic department and the ventriloquy department get the better of us. We'll light up that stage and blow away the competition and all those awful memories with it.
Yeah, I guess so. I won't miss doing your voice, though, Regina. I'll tell you what.
Well,
Oh my God. I must have gotten soft in my old age, haven't I, boy? Yes, I have. 18 years ago, I saved a life, but the troublesome child is still keeping me busy to this day. And now here we are, back in a cage. Well, we'll have company soon at least, won't we, boy? Yes, our friend the pup. Things certainly won't be dull with him around. No, they won't. I will miss doing his voice. Oh, look at them both.
What dessert shall we eat? Chocolate cake, sticky and sweet.
Oh, so soft, fluffy and light. You'll be dreaming of it tonight.
I'll always be waiting for you, Judy. And I'll come visit you every day, just like you and Eddie did when I was here.
We'll have so much to thank him and Mr. Edgeworth for. Most of all, the fact that I get to eat your delicious desserts again, Samson.
And not just you, they gave me permission to keep providing sweet treats to everyone here. I guess spreading the gospel of candy making for all these years is finally paying off.
They're gonna be cellmates, yeah. Like father, like son. Incarcerated. Oh, look at her.
Oh, hello, sweeties. Fancy seeing you here. I owe you a great big thank you, don't you know? And old Greggy Pegleg too, of course. After all, it's thanks to you that I can eat Sammy Poodle sweets again. I've even thinking of making a lovely medicine out of them. I'm gonna call it Snacker's Delight. It makes your stomach so small you can only eat snacks. So you can get skinny as a tent peg and love every minute. I'm gonna make a fortune.
That feels like a little too much for like a pharmaceutical to do.
man, I met so many beautiful people now and drawn so many beautiful sketches. Lulu isn't the biggest fan of my new work, though. She took a look at my sketchbook and hit me over the head with it. Bam! Just like that. And, then she left. Guess that's one less beautiful person in my life now.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
So I got a big decision ahead of me. Do I follow my art or follow my heart? By heart, I mean new girlfriend. You got that right.
Larry, poor Larry. Larry needs, like, a wake-up call that I don't think is ever going to show up.
Badster, the Badinator. Seriously, though, thanks for the assist today, good buddy.
You want me to talk about IS-7? I'll talk all day. Sounds like that Edgeworth kid is doing good work.
Yeah, Miles Reno chose a different path from his old man in the end. A path that means we can't work together, but that won't stop me looking in on him from time to time.
You've come pretty far yourself.
Holy macaroni! A compliment from Big Bad Detective Bad? Am I dreaming? Well, flattery will get you everywhere, old pal. You ever need a little Fender magic, you just say the word.
No hug. No hug! The two's had it. Unless there's a hug picture in the end or something. There's often, like, these little end scenes.
Looks like they'll be letting me off a little easier than I thought for what I did. I guess because I told them I was kind of forced to do it. Ouch! Ain't no such thing as easy when it comes to crime, dinged fool child. Sorry, Grandma. I still feel awful about it, of course. But I'm just so glad I get to stay out here with you. What's that? You think we should be getting back to work? Hee hee, I guess you're right. Can't keep the dead waiting.
Those two were also not my favorite. I feel like, very strong characters, but they were some of the weakest.
Science saves the day again, huh? Good thing I happen to be around, huh? Even if I do have to jump right back on a plane again and go back to Europe. All this flying around is gonna get tiring. Still, it's all part of becoming a first-class forensic investigator. I guess I'd better get going.
Okay, bye.
Oh, bye. If you ever need me, just say the word, okay? I'll come running, you know I will.
Yeah, I know. She's a good egg. I like her.
Boop, 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 boop. Scooby-doo, boop. Boop, bop, boop, ba.
Ooh, Franziska. Hello, baby.
The greater one's father, the greater the pressure to be great. But Eustace Winner, was it? He has chosen his own path now, and he will be tested, just as I was. Miles Edgeworth chose to live as a prosecutor over how his own father lived. That, too, is a valid answer to the question we've all had to wrestle with.
So many good eggs. There's not a single bad egg in the bunch. Don't you go cracking those eggs. Don't you do it. I see you. I see you looking at those eggs.
My father hid a secret. Bore a burden I could only have imagined. I thought only of my family name. He thought of so much more. He thought of our entire nation. I mean to carry on that legacy, to fulfill his last great wish. Even if our president was an imposter, even if the real president is long dead. Even if it takes all my effort and all my men's effort, Zhang Fa will rise again. I can't wait for you to see it.
All right. I believe you. Okay, I believe you. Oh my god. We're gonna end like right on time too.
I gave up on the whole the winner thing. Told everybody to stop calling me that. Because I didn't win. My dad did it all for me. I'm gonna start again from scratch. I won't let what he did ruin everything. And pretty soon I'll be better than him and better than Edgeworth, so watch out! Now, first order of business, get a new nickname.
Augustus. Call him Augustus. He's the goo boy. He loves the goo. Whatever that means. Oh, yeah.
Well, it was eventful to say the least, but we got it done, and the movie's going down great.
I think the murder stories in the gossip magazines might have helped. Big Bad Man emerges from Big Bad Bull. Revealed true face of the monster behind the president murder plot. Huh? Wait, this is a picture of you, Mr. Powers.
What? But why?
Hey, it's not so bad. After all, it'll make people come and see the movie, right? Well,
Yeah, I guess.
Poor Powers. He's never had it good. He's always had it bad. Boop, boop, boo, 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 boo. Oh my goodness. I very much enjoyed the movie, Sean.
It's nothing. Wasn't even a big part.
You're the main character. The boy who befriended both Taurosaurus and Gordy, they don't come any bigger than that. And it was a role you were born to play.
You think? Well, it would be cool to be in the sequel, I guess. And I kind of like acting. Hey, can we pick up something before we head back? Milk? I wanted to get some lion lilies for my dad.
Of course, and I would buy some too for Amelie. The movie. We're gonna watch the movie, Amelie. Oh, here we go. Yeah, dude.
Whoa, it's been a busy few days, huh, sir?
Unbelievably so. How did so many important cases all come along at once?
There's never a dull moment when I'm around. Guess I'm just lucky that way.
Wait, so all that stuff happened because of you?
No, Gummy, how could you say that?
And yet, I don't think the good detective is entirely wrong. Well, Kay, what now? Will you be returning to your thieving practice?
Yeah, good question.
What? You're not sure?
How can I put this? I guess I feel like I've been trying to follow in my father's footsteps this whole time, you know? Trying to become a great thief, just like he was.
The Yatagarasu, or a Yatagarasu at least. Yeah, me too, Rose.
But watching how this all panned out for you, Mr. Edgeworth, it got me thinking that maybe I need to get out from under his shadow and live my own life too. Just like how you decided not to do the whole attorney thing. It's time to make our own fate.
She's right. After all, nothing thrives in the shade.
I'm gonna be my own hero.
That sounds like an admirable plan indeed.
I won't be giving up the name, though. Can't not be the Yatagarasu, right?
Whatever name you pick, you'll always be Kay to us, Kay, and you'll always be a hero.
Aw, thanks, Gummy. You always be my Gummy, too.
You bet I will, and I'll be doing my detective thing just as hard as always. So I'll be counting on you, sir.
Yes, and I'll be counting on you too, Detective. Just as I've been counting on you these last few days. You've helped us out too many times to mention. I think your next salary review may come as a pleasant surprise.
Huh?
Huh?
Wait, you mean...
What's the matter? I'm saying I'll see to it that you get paid a little more, Detective.
You will? This is unbelievable, sir.
No way! Go Gummy! After all that, he's still gonna be like, you idiot.
It's like a dream come true. I could finally leave the instant noodle life behind.
But don't think I'll be letting you rest on your laurels. Your work won't be getting any easier. I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. I'll give you everything I got. Just you wait and see.
Hell yeah. Fender and Judge Gavelle set me on a new path in life. A path on which I will face down every contradiction that the law has to present. A path at whose end lies the ultimate truth. Oh my god. But can I really do this? I'll need to give it some serious thought. It certainly won't be easy. Nonetheless... Mr. Edgeworth, there is another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winner. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess. My boy, we just read this.
Of course, Sean.
This clipping gave me more courage. When we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going no matter how hard the road ahead. So that was your secret weapon all along. The strength of your bond with your son. The strength of my bonds.
Oh, I almost forgot.
What? What is it?
I was trying to find other members for my Yatagarasu team, right?
I do vaguely remember something about that.
I never even found a single one. We were going to be unstoppable in our quest to steal the truth. So much for that little pipe dream.
You're kidding, right? You already have a team. A team that can solve any case the world cares to throw at it.
Huh? Yeah, I guess I do. The prosecutor, the detective, and the great thief. Between the three of us, we can hunt down the truth.
Oh my goodness, ludicrous lives! Welcome, Raiders! We are at literally the very, 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 very end of the second Ace Attorney game, so probably no spoilers at this point, but we're... Thank you so much for the raid! I was... Final Fantasy 9? Ooh, that's a good one. Welcome, Raiders! I'm Comfy Catboy. I play this sound effect. With my mouth.
Between the three of us, we can hunt down the truth, put it in handcuffs, and steal it once and for all!
I can't help but feeling a little sorry for the truth in that case.
As long as the three of us stick together, we got nothing to fear, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Indeed, nothing at all.
My father followed his own path, right to the end. And now I follow a path of my own making too. But not alone, I have some colorful companions to help me. As long as they're beside me, I won't lose my way. It's a new path and a new me. And I'll be walking it as a prosecutor, not an attorney. My father's path and mine are different. But they're not as separate as they may seem. Though the routes differ, the destination is the same.
Thank you for the follow.
Because, of course, both end at the truth.
Say it. Yeah, look at him! Oh my gosh. Whatever. I did silly voices, so I figured what's better. Hell yeah! I love silly voices. We did it! But that's the end of the game. Yay! What do we got? What secrets have we unlocked in the gallery? Do I have them all? Yay! A lot of accolades missing. There's a lot of these that, like, I didn't get them. There's a secret appearance of Phoenix in the first game, too, that I missed. Making sure that I'm playing with the updated sprites. Yay! Oh, my goodness. What a really good game. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. At some point during the first playthrough of this, or the first game, I should say, somebody came in to stream and they were like, yeah, I think that the first game is one of the worst games of all the Ace Attorney games, but the second game that we just finished is one of the best games. And I feel like I have a hard time disagreeing with that. That feels pretty on the nose. Because, wow, every case in that game, like, was connected, which usually is not how it works. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Well, Raiders, we're gonna, like, do a raid train. We're gonna find somebody to raid. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I didn't know we were gonna beat this game today, but we ended, like, right on time, so it couldn't have been more perfect. If you guys, Raiders or, regulars alike, here's a few links I would like to share with you. We got the card. That's the one-stop shop for all things Comfy Catboy. If you want to find my socials or look at my video editing commission stuff, that's the place to do it. We also have the Discord. It's a beautiful place full of lovely people. And I would love to see you there. Oh, we're going to raid Ov. Hell yeah. Ov's playing... She messaged me earlier and was like, Hello Kitty Island Adventure! And I was like, what is that? Is that a game? And it is a game, and she's streaming it right now. And then last but not least, I'll post it a few more times, the link to Cozy Cat Girl and my YouTube channel. If you like Let's Plays and just like goofing, then, oh, Sarybot said goodbye. Oh my goodness. That's so nice. I've never seen that before. And thank you all so much. If you're a subscriber, you can copy and paste this. If you're not, you can copy what Sharky put down. And I love you all to pieces. I'll be in Cozy Cat Girl's stream later tonight. So follow her if you're not. I'll be like around, certainly. And I will see you all next week. I have no earthly idea what I will be playing, but we'll probably take some sort of a short break in between, like, these big long games. So maybe I'll try a little small one. I love you all. Have a lovely Thursday and weekend. Until I see you next. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.